We are the fourth. We are Arizona.
Very proud to be Americans here on September 11th, 10 years after tragedy. And so many lost their lives. We honor those. We remember those today as the Diamondbacks continue to host baseball here in the United States of America. Major League Baseball proud to help this nation heal a decade ago. We will never forget. On this Sanderson Ford Family Sunday, it's the Arizona Diamondbacks today playing host to the San Diego Padres. There's some very special introductions and some very special moments to honor and remember those that lost their lives in New York, that lost their lives in Pennsylvania 10 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, we're honored to be with you. When we come back, our nation's national anthem, then the San Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Arizona Diamondbacks, those that keep us safe and protect our community in the United States of America, and a wonderful moment to see that happen as the Diamondbacks, they're flanked by those in red, their traditional color that we see day in and day out, but they continue to wear in honor of the 2001 world champion Arizona Diamondbacks. They continue to wear the Diamondback purple for the entire weekend. Let's go ahead and turn it over to in-house as they will take over the rest as we remember September 11th.
Fans, please turn your attention to the field as we welcome Senator John McCain. Senator McCain will now place the first pitch ball on the mound in lieu of a ceremonial first pitch. This symbolic gesture is meant to pay tribute to those who cannot be here with us today and for those who continue to fight to keep us safe from harm. Today marks a solemn occasion in our nation's history, the 10th anniversary of the tragic events of September 11th, 2001. In respectful recognition, Major League Baseball, all 30 clubs, and our players pause to remember those who lost their lives and loved ones as a result of the events on September 11th, 2001. We pay tribute to the men and women who continue to serve our country and honor our pledge made 10 years ago. We shall not forget. At this time, we ask that you please join us as we honor the victims of September 11th attacks with a moment of silence. Thank you. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres invite you to join in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, performed by Staff Sergeant Markia Giles from Luke Air Force Base.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Staff Sergeant Markia Giles.
to go. The resolve we as a nation showed was immeasurable, and we learned more about one another than we ever imagined, also loving one another more than we ever imagined. Baseball humbly helped the healing while always respecting its place. One nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. And we are honored to be with you on this Sunday. Now let's talk some baseball. Josh Colmenter has completed his warm-up tosses. The ceremony is the beautiful anthem, as we all remember, and you can hear it. Play ball, says the youngster from down on top of the dugout. It is Josh Colmenter going toe-to-toe with Wade, I should say. Colmenter making his 22nd start of the year. He's got 9 wins. He's got 8 losses and a 3.10 ERA. And he has been really, really good in his last 6 with a sub-2 earned run average.
Yeah, he's been right in line there with Daniel Hudson and Ian Kennedy. He's been the guy to take that baton and run the third leg. And he's out there trying to complete what would be a very rare 4-game sweep. They just don't happen very often, folks.
Home or road, it doesn't matter where you are. Strike one, and we are underway.
It's just very difficult to do.
Cameron Maybin bats in the leadoff spot. Is 4 of 12 in this series. He takes a pitch right at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to count. He is a strike thrower and a big-time strike thrower. 7 out of every 10 pitches he throws are strikes, and that is well above league average. Curveball into the dirt. A first batter curveball. Henry Blanco behind the plate, his battery mate. Henry didn't find anything too comfortable in the new color, which is the old color, so he went with his old color, which is red. And he looks just fine back there, as that one is a little bit low.
Yeah. We'll agree to disagree.
Hey, you got to be comfortable, though. You'll agree with that as a big leaguer.
I'm not saying, yeah. All right.
The 2-2. So he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 to Cameron Maybin. 72 runs scored. You know, you see the RBIs and you think, well, he can drive some extra bases and find the gap. So he's only driven in 36, but he's scored 72 times.
On a team that doesn't score many. Steer right 3. A defensive swing at a fastball in. Just beautiful location there from Josh Colmenter. He's off to a good start.
Right fielder number 13, Chris Denorfia.
Small college, Chris Denorfia. Division III All-American and a guy that has always enjoyed the Arizona Diamondbacks. Continued hitting last night with a 4-hit night. Hits over 400 in his career against Arizona. And he takes another strike over the outside, a common theme with Colmenter's successes.
And Darren, we found out not too long ago that the San Diego Padres withdrew their protest from last night.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, they withdrew their protest.
I think that's important to tell everybody.
They got together, talked about, and if you missed it, there was a bases-loaded walk. Miguel Montero came in to celebrate with his teammates, basically. Did not really make any effort to go to third. He was the runner on second on the bases-loaded walk. Upton did score the winning run, as that one is popped up. Denorfia is erased by Paul Goldschmidt. And this is the play. The Padres have withdrawn their protest of this play.
Montero on second. He's happy. And he just kind of goes to home plate and joins the fray instead of touching third base. And now Bud Black, whoa, hey, wait a minute.
Hey, shut up.
And somebody told him to shut up. That wasn't very nice.
I smell an amendment on a rule, by the way. I smell an amendment to Rule 409B. The umpire should not declare the game has ended until the runner forced to advance from third has touched home plate and the batter has touched first. So the runners in between, by the letter of the law, are irrelevant. By the letter of the law, which is stunning to me.
And Miguel Montero, I had a little conversation with him this morning. I was letting him have it a little bit, and he said he was back in the clubhouse panicking.
Yes, he was. Yes, I know when he talked to you, he wasn't too cool for school, to use a younger person's term. He was humbly admitting to you that he thought he might have been in big trouble.
First he said, oh, I knew the rule. I knew the rule. Oh, no, you didn't. And that's just it's what makes baseball such a great game. My whole adult life has been around Major League Baseball. I didn't know that rule.
You usually see something as a player, as an announcer, that's strike three, that you rarely see in baseball. Like this man who just started things off on the mound. You rarely see someone who does it like he does. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River casino. You can win up to $20,000 instantly. Get to Jack in the Box right now. For a limited time, the really big chicken sandwich brought to you by Jack. It's back. $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Ryan Roberts, Gerardo Parra, Aaron Hill, 1, 2, and 3. We'll give you the entire Kirk Gibson penciled-in batting order. As they all face Wade LeBlanc out of the University of Alabama, a 27-year-old southpaw. Wade healthy now, making 10 starts on the year overall. A ERA over 5. It's been a bumpy road for him. Line drive, and that road stays bumpy. Base hit, Ryan Roberts into center field, and the Diamondbacks right out of the gates are in business. His first hit in this series against the San Diego Padres. Hasn't played a whole bunch in this series. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Ryan Roberts, Gerardo Parra, then it's Aaron Hill. Paul Goldschmidt in there, Chris Young, Colin Cowgill, and John McDonald. Henry Blanco, Josh Coleman.
Ryan Roberts was telling me a couple of days ago just how much he enjoys the new purple uniforms he's wearing. He says, but I haven't gotten a hit yet in them, Mark. And, well, so much for that. A bullet on the second pitch of the game. And Diamondbacks off to a good start in the first.
LeBlanc takes a good long look at him. Parra punches that bunt to the mound, but the throw out at second base. So good idea, poor execution, Gerardo Parra, as the lead runner is erased, and a nice play by LeBlanc. And also on the other side, onto the bag, a nice play by Gonzalez.
Well, it would be a good idea if he was trying to go to third base with it. Instead, he's trying to take it with him. So it's not a good idea, and it's not good execution, because if you bunt it to first base, the first baseman's holding the guy on. So you're just asking for an out. Had it gone to third base, or had he tried to go to third base, it would have been a much better idea.
Now, Parra did get the assignment. Justin Upton is not in the starting lineup. That needs to be explained early. And I would imagine Parra, lefty on lefty, wavering in his confidence, trying to do something to help early on. Justin Upton sitting this one out today. His manager said it's rest, nothing more than that.
Well, with a 9.5 game lead, you can pick your spots for your everyday guys. You can pick a spot to rest Justin Upton. You can pick a spot to rest anybody. I would imagine Aaron Hill probably going to get a blow here sometime soon. He's been out there every day.
And he has produced every day.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch him work.
Ryan Roberts got a blow last night. He comes out sharp today. That's the advantage of having a big lead late.
Well, that's kind of been the Kirk Gibson way. He has sat guys when Arizona was down a couple of games, up by a game, nail biting. The Kirk Gibson way is everyone plays, with the exception of a few. But now you're right. You can sit the all-star caliber players too. A little chopper out to third, glove out front, and they turn to Hudson. Just fortunate to hang on and get the one out at second base. Reaching is Aaron Hill. Let's take a look defensively for the San Diego Padres. Guzman and Maben with Denorfia and right. Darnell, Alberto Gonzalez, Orlando Hudson, and Anthony Rizzo. Nick Hundley is behind the plate. Paul Goldschmidt with a homer in this series, 2 of 5. It was Lyle Overbay that played the role of hero late last night with a game-tying home run in the bottom half of the 9th inning, along with Chris Young. Seven home runs and 109 at-bats for Paul. Continuing the pace that he has had since he signed his pro contract several years ago. Oh, and 1 the count.
LeBlanc just coming out, pounding the strike zone. He's got an assortment of pitches. He's got a straight fastball. He's got one that cuts. That's what he just threw to Goldschmidt. He's got a very good changeup. Doesn't throw all that hard. High 80s is about the most you're going to get out of Wade LeBlanc. And he has to be on the corners. He cannot be in the middle of the plate or he gets hit very hard.
6 stolen bases with LeBlanc on the mound. And just 2 thrown out. So base runners having a measure of success, but he's got a good enough pickoff move to have already picked off 9 in his career. And he is deliberate, keeping an eye on Hill. Two outs, runner at first, and they want to talk about it. Kind of off to a slow start, LeBlanc and his catcher Hundley. LeBlanc also very deliberate, trying to keep runners close. Wade last time out pitched against the San Francisco Giants, went 5, gave up 4, and it was a loss. Really got to his secondary pitches as much as he would have liked to, just struggled. There's a secondary pitch and a good take. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, that's his changeup. That's a good weapon. But he just tries to baffle right-handed hitters, and then that makes that cutter inside on the right-handers that much more effective for him.
Paul has hit in 12 of his last 16 games here at home and 10 of 14 overall. And he takes an off-speed that's high. 2-1 the count. This kind of looks like he's been here already for about 1.5 years, the way he goes about his business.
He's comfortable, but in a good way.
Yes.
Not comfortable in a, I think I'm the man. He's just comfortable. He's not overwhelmed by the major league game.
Runner goes now, pitches a strike, throw down, pop the tag on it, they got it.
I think the Pods could have gotten a break there.
roster top to bottom. We'll show you the rest with Hundley, Rizzo, Darnell. He'll be playing in the fall league this year. Orlando, Hudson, Alberto Gonzalez, and Wade LeBlanc. It's been a tough go of it for the San Diego Padres. They're hoping to regain some winning ways, find some offense today as that one is fouled off. Padres 2-5 over their last 7. And they have lost 14 of their last 16 ball games for Buddy Black's club. It's frustrating when you're a sub 500 team. Arizona fans know what that's like. They had just started to piece it together. San Diego had won 13 of 19 into near the end of August. Black was thrilled with some of the offensive things he was seeing. And then all of a sudden it just disappeared on him. And it's disappeared for about 3 weeks now. When you're having
and they were red hot.
You remember that?
Before they went south, they were scoring double digits.
Nick Hundley was one of the guys that was helping. He drives that one deep right field off the base of the wall. The pride of the University of Arizona, a Wildcat drove that ball. That's a pretty swing, too. Good extension on the baseball. It's strong.
Fastball, middle of the plate, and he just drives it over the head of Gerardo Parra in right field. That's right, I said it. Gerardo Parra in right field.
Hundley, too, has had a couple of DL stints, the most recent one after undergoing arthroscopic surgery on his right elbow. But they did good work because he's now 18 of 24 since coming back, hitting .380 since returning from the DL. And that's in about a month worth of ball games.
Fastball in there. Tim Sheeta, home plate umpire, thought it was good enough. Rizzo looks back at him like, whoa. Been a struggle for Rizzo. He was the marquee name that came over in the trade for Adrian Gonzalez from the Boston Red Sox. Big kid, bright future, but it has been a real struggle.
Had him out front of a changeup to the bag and in time for the out.
Well, that's a productive out right there as Hundley will move to third base.
Cowgill, Young, Parra, our David Robleski and Associates defense. Roberts, McDonald, and Hill, the Toronto imports in the middle. Goldschmidt with Henry Blanco behind the plate. We like to call him Homer and Henry on this show.
Yes, we do.
Calling Cowgill out there in left instead of Parra. Parra's in right with Upton watching. Here's James Darnell. Darnell had good numbers in the minor leagues this year. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Hit over 300 this year, 310 with 23 home runs. He'll be playing for the Peoria Javelinas in the fall league coming up this fall. He is one of a handful of Padres that will continue to hone his skills here in Arizona. Swing and a miss with a fastball, well located under his hands.
That's the thing that we heard the last time that Josh Colementor went out and pitched. He was talked about. Who was it, the second baseman for the Rockies, that said his fastball command was amazing?
Mark Ellis,
Mark
a
Ellis,
veteran.
Yes, a veteran. It was after the game talking about just how great the command was for the fastball of Josh Coleman. And he has to, because he's not an overpowering guy, but he still gets plenty of swings and misses, doesn't he? Because of the location.
He does, and Charles Nagy has continued to help him evolve to where he is not just a guy that's a novelty. Colementor never took exception to that. He embraced his childhood in Michigan and the stories about throwing tomahawks and how he learned his overhand delivery. So he never bristled at being somewhat of a novelty. But Nagy very quietly knew he could be a lot more than that. If you're Josh, you kind of handled it perfectly.
Just missed the inside corner. There's that command we've been talking about, though, folks. He wanted it, certainly, but it's just a little bit inside. Oh, man, good try.
Comenter initially worked out of the bullpen when he arrived in the major leagues 7 times. He's made 21 starts overall. Right back in there,
didn't he? Which probably should set up the changeup now.
1-2 the count. Last time out against the Rockies with his coaches looking on, he pitched well into the 7th inning. Kirk Gibson removed him, wanted to make a change and get a look at the bullpen. He had only thrown 83 pitches. And he ended up with a no decision, and it was a Diamondbacks loss. Even fewer pitches than that, if I'm not mistaken.
He had the changeup. He went with the changeup, but he missed badly with it.
And that was 78 pitches. Gibson just liking a matchup in that game, taking Comenter out. Maybe he might not do that next time.
Might just leave him right in there, huh?
Well, Comenter has grown to be better than early on. You understand it, but he's doing 100 or more now in 10 of his 21 starts. The 2-2 again. Fastball coming up over our heads, and that's a souvenir. 26 pitches to start this ball game. Yeah, San Diego, when they're not hitting, they're really not hitting. Since August 24th, hitting just .212 with a little bit over 2 runs a game. About half the time they've scored 3 runs or less. Needs a strikeout.
Yeah, Darnell's being a tough customer here on Josh Comenter.
Line drive, base hit, right field. San Diego strikes first, and they lead it 1-0 for Darnell.
It's a big time at bat right there. Very impressive by the youngster. Fought off a lot of good pitches and then got a bad pitch, a mistake. Up, out, over. Watch the location. Up and out, over. That's a pitch you can easily do something with. And to his credit, he didn't miss it.
Remember, this is a young man, too. As we said, will be playing in the Fall League and also hit his first big league home run last night. Had 3 RBIs. He's feeling good about himself right now, and it showed. 0-1 the count, Orlando Hudson. Tallies early against Comenter have been rare. Tallies, period. I mean, his last 6 starts. As you said, he has been right there with the 2 big dogs out front, Kennedy and Hudson. In on the hands, going to have to hurry it to get to it. Not in time, but what an effort by McDonald to get anything on that ball while taking a hard slide from the youngster. He nearly got it.
Well, it wasn't hit very hard. It was a jam shot. Once again, can't say enough. Aaron Hill and John McDonald have played together a long time. McDonald hanging in there. Darnell going in hard, and it's a close play at first. But Hudson beats it.
Alberto Gonzalez. Josh will step off. Gonzalez last night was 1 of 3 with an RBI. He has 1 hit in this series, 1 of 6. He had an epic celebratory bat flip after a single last night. Right down the middle, 0-1 the count.
Yes, he did. And, well, we have now attached the moniker bat flip.
It's a single.
To young Mr. Gonzalez. Yeah, there you go. Wow. I'm very proud of that single.
The 0-1. Change up way out front.
So when you're that far out in front of a changeup, one more of those ought to do it. Let's see if Comenter and Henry Blanco are thinking the same thing.
Starting pitching has been the strength for the Diamondbacks, so Colemencher trying to keep it right here at 1. 0-2 the count.
Well, when you give up a run early like they have, the attitude in the dugout is, well, you know what, guys, we had to score anyway.
Arizona this month has a 2.69 ERA out of the starting rotation. Fly ball, couldn't square it up at all. Between Parra and Young, Gerardo Parra puts that one away. The Padres do. Played their first run of the ball game. They lead the Diamondbacks 1-0. Fries. Enroll now for the Fries Diamondbacks Rewards program and earn points by buying participating items at Fries. Kia Motors. Learn more. Visit phxkia.com. Baseball around the bases, never forgetting, and fans around the ballpark certainly never forgetting as well. Paul Goldschmidt goes to work, hits it high, well struck to center field. Underneath it just a little bit. So the big, strong slugger, born in Delaware, but lived the majority of his youth in Texas, flies out to right center field. United States Senator John McCain will join us here in a bit on this September the 11th.
One of the heroes last night, Chris Young. He hit the first of back-to-back home runs off Padre closer Heath Bell. Took a curveball and drove it way out of here into the left field stands. Here it is. Bang! That was the first of back-to-backs off of Heath Bell. In one of the most exciting, in a season of exciting wins, Darren Sutton, I think last night, I think that was the cream of the crop. What do you think?
I definitely do, and I think it was the most stunning. You know, and that's why, as that one is inside.
3-0.
And that was the part for me was, you know, Young, a guy who's struggling to find any sort of power, let alone hits. Number one, and Lyle Overbay, whose power days are in the rearview mirror.
Of course. He was never a huge power hitter anyway. Strike one.
And, of course, Bell, we were telling you yesterday, had only given up 2 or more runs just a handful of times in the last few years.
Another walk for Chris Young. He's starting to come around, Darren. Drawing walks, getting multi-hit games, and they're going to need him.
Colin Cowgill now with an opportunity. Cowgill getting the start in left field today. And is starting to see a little bit more success. We asked you to look beyond that 216 because it's been a couple of different seasons for him. In his last 6 games, he's got 9 hits. Just below 400 in that time.
It was a real struggle for the first couple of weeks he was in the big leagues. But boy, he's gained confidence with every game he plays.
Now, in the way Kirk Gibson manages, he will give you chances and he will stand by you. And he's like a Bobby Cox, loyal, almost to a fault. But he was teetering. Colin was teetering on seeing the diamond again.
Absolutely. He was teetering on headed back to Reno. You don't want to be on that shuttle.
Snap throw, worried about Young. Young, as we mentioned, with 19 stolen bases. Takes off. Pitches high. Throw down. Not in time. Stolen base, Chris Young. 20 stolen bases on the season.
Well, I said it last night, and I'll say it again. Now Chris Young joins the 2020 club along with Justin Upton. I was mistaken last night when he hit his 20th home run. I said that he was part of the 2020 club. I was wrong. He still needed one more stolen base. He just got it.
Breaking ball ended. Dandy to Cowgill. 1-1 the count. Yeah, don't you know he's working on that. What is that, the left ear? Working on that left ear of Chris Young.
Well, that left ear will be raw and bleeding shortly.
Of course, we tell you a lot, and we'll revisit it because it's worth it. Young going by the name of Young Buck. Calling him Young Buck was Orlando Hudson when Young was very young. And also Hudson would send him on occasion to the second bus, the media bus, if he didn't act responsibly as a younger player. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. The good news is for Chris Young is he's got more time in Orlando. You're his foe now, my friend. Oh yeah, Chris Young now. I'm not a Young Buck anymore. Why don't you ride on the media bus now?
That was usually reserved for Mark Reynolds, wasn't it?
He'd almost, on occasion, end up in the media restroom.
That's true.
In the back of the media bus. Swing and a miss. Caught him over aggressive.
Went to a steady giant of change-ups to get Colin Cowgill there.
John McDonald now. Got to start last night, had a couple of walks and 4 overall plate appearances. It was August 23rd that Aaron Hill and John McDonald became Arizona Diamondbacks, joining the team in Washington, D.C.
Inside corner with the cut fastball. Good pitch.
And a nice little cut to it. Some Doug Davis tilt, if you will, if you guys remember Doug Davis. He threw that cut fastball.
Got a lot of swings and misses with it.
Out front, changeup popped up, easing back is James Darnell. United States Senator John McCain will join us when we return to Chase Field. After the tragedies that shook America and shook our world, 1-0 is the score, and we're joined by United States Senator John McCain. First of all, it's an honor to have you
Thanks,
here. A real,
Dan.
true honor
Good
to have
be
you
with
up in the
guys.
broadcast
Good to
booth.
see you, Mark. Thank you. Could I just mention, as you know, I was here at a game a while ago, and Mark put up a sign. Senator McCain, will you pass a law so that he can win? First of all, you know, in Washington, the Nationals, Teddy Roosevelt has never won their race, so you're in good company. Well, I couldn't get it passed done, so I've sent a letter. I've sent a letter to this super committee, and if they can come up with $1.5 trillion in cuts, then they ought to.
That one is dumped in there, and it's a base hit
by Wade LeBlanc.
So, Mark, keep hope alive. This legislation may come out of the super committee that you have to win. It's a mandate, a government mandate. Again, government interfering with races. It's really remarkable. And I know how you feel, and I know how this is really eating away at you.
Well, it's eating away at me. My kids don't like me anymore.
No,
it's the 2001 team was back here yesterday, and I got disqualified.
Yeah, people roll down their windows in the cars and yell loser. I know how it is. I've lost a couple of times myself.
So you two are just going to kibitz this half inning? Is that what we have? I like it. That one is outside a change-up.
Last night I was at a dinner, and it was an important dinner where I was a speaker, and I kept going on my iPhone here to follow the game. And this lady next to me said, Senator McCain, have you got some important calls from Washington? I said, yes, if you don't mind. I heard you mention, that's the best game I think I can ever remember them playing.
Well, you have to be proud of the guys in your home state. As that one is belted into the corner, it goes, and it bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. A tough inning, but a wonderful season for the Diamondbacks.
Oh, yeah. It's been wonderful. It really has. And Mark, really was wonderful to see all of your old teammates yesterday. It was a wonderful occasion, and it really brought America together. It was a remarkable moment when they showed Rudy Giuliani's face on that Jumbotron, and everybody in the stadium stood and cheered. It was a wonderful moment. I wish America were as unified today as they were.
I agree with you.
On that day.
Where were you?
I was right here. When 9/11, I was in my office in Washington and saw it on television. Everybody ran around not knowing what to do.
Of course.
And my condominium is across from the Pentagon building, and so I couldn't go across the river. So I went to one of my staffers' apartments, and nobody knew exactly what to make of it, except obviously there was puzzlement and confusion, and then a lot of anger.
Sure.
And I think we're a much safer country than we were.
Yeah, I know. I was angry.
Oh, yeah.
I was. Yeah. Now, was this before or after the Pentagon was hit?
It was the Twin Towers were hit, and then about a half an hour later, there was one of the the plane that went down in Pennsylvania they say was headed either for the Capitol or for the White House, and those brave people that went forward and took that plane kept that from it.
Should be a play at the plate with the tag and a baseball bat involved. The Senator proud of that play. Pitcher running. Doesn't hurt to have a pitcher running on that play, does it, Senator?
No, sir.
That's just a heads-up play by John McDonald, the shortstop, knowing that the pitcher's running. So he goes to the dish. Henry Blanco and the bat block Wade LeBlanc off of the plate right there, and that's a huge out for Josh Colementor and the Diamondbacks.
By the way, in Washington, I am a subscriber to watching the games.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the beginning hour in Washington is 10:10 instead of 7:10. But you guys do a great job. You really do. I think you do a marvelous job.
Thank you.
And everybody enjoys you, and I do too. And around the world now, they enjoy you.
Well, this team has made Darren and I a lot better. Trust me.
It's really remarkable. 2001 will always be unique. I think you would agree, Mark, given all the circumstances. But can you tell me, Darren, have you ever seen a team like this before? It was picked to finish dead last, and nobody gave him any chance.
No, he's had a long career. I, as a ball player's kid, and then now in my 30 years around the game, nothing resembling it.
Me either.
I'll be the first to admit I'm shocked by what has gone on this year, but it's been an awful lot of fun, and and they continue to shock me day in and day out with the way they've been playing, with their ferocity.
And I think you have to give credit to management, ownership for leaving them alone.
How about that guy?
And this guy is really, I mean, he's a true leader. I've seen a lot of leaders in my time.
Sure.
He ranks up there amongst them, and he never gets rattled. Wish I could say that. Mark never got rattled.
Oh, yes,
never.
I did. Darren rattles me on a daily basis.
Base hit left field. Let's see. Cowgill is up with it. His throw is toward the plate. Blanco comes up, fires to third. Safe at third base.
I'm bringing you guys bad luck.
No, you're not. If you've watched on occasion, as you said you have, we don't believe in that Booth can have superstition on the ball game thing.
Well, also, I guess we have to start out behind. It wouldn't be this team if they...
Mistake number one right here, missing the cutoff man. That allows the base runners to move up. And now there is no longer a double play in order. Maben runs very, very well. Colin Cowgill, got to get that ball down, son. You got to hit the cutoff man. Keep the double play in order. All you young outfielders. Colin Cowgill has been told since he was in high school to hit the cutoff man. Yet it still happens at the big league level. Hit that cutoff man, all you youngsters out there. Okay, sorry about that. I got a little rattled.
No, I think it's important. I think it's important. We don't want another run scored here.
Conley swings and he misses. You were saying that you desired the same kind of unity that you saw immediately following 10 years ago. But I'll ask you this, as someone who's still in his 40s and has younger children, I have seen the younger generation, because of what occurred, really with a heightened awareness and respect. And as someone who, whose father and grandfather served our country, I've seen a heightened awareness and respect for those who serve our country in the military. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely. By the way, I've got a son who's also a Navy pilot, and I hope he's a lot better than I was. The respect and appreciation for the men and women who are serving is really a marvelous thing to see. And the war I fought in, unfortunately, they didn't care much about those who served in the military.
Right.
And now it's so wonderful. Look, there they are.
They look great. Don't they look sharp?
The best of America. I go over to Afghanistan and Iraq all the time, and I continue to be in awe of what they do and what they go through. It's truly amazing. Now, what do you think? Could I just go back? Is he not on?
Is he talking about Coleman?
Josh not?
Well, I think you intimidated him when you went out and talked to him before the national anthem. That might be what it is. He's probably never met a state senator before.
I told him I'd been in Homer, Michigan. I have.
Really? Have you really?
Running when I was running. Yeah. He said, what's he
yes,
doing wrong?
To answer your question, yeah, he's a little bit off right now. Right now, it's his location. He's in the middle of the plate. Those balls that are being hit right now, Senator, they're just pretty much on a tee right now in the middle of the plate, about belt high. He's got to get the ball down around the knees, get the ball back on the corners. That's what gives him success. And he does it pretty much on a daily basis. But to answer your question, yes, he is a little bit off today, and he's going to have to find it quickly because the Padres are knocking on the door to really opening up things. And there you are, saying hello to Josh, and you just intimidated him.
And Henry can calm him down. The old man, Henry Blanco, can calm him down.
He is older than all of us combined, Henry Blanco. He's been around a long, long time.
Was he? I take it he's been around 20 years.
He began his
more than
pro
20 years
career, Senator,
including the minor leagues. What, at least
in the 80s? He was an '89 signee, so he was a pro starting in the 80s, then through the minor leagues and then on up.
I think he signed at 16 years old, 17 years old, and now he is 40.
Interesting mixture of him and Miguel. Huh?
Yeah, he's a great guide to Miguel.
That's what I understand.
Both Venezuelan descent.
We've got, 3 Venezuelans? Parra?
I think we got more than that.
More than that?
Parra, Montero, Blanco.
And you have Gutierrez, who is disabled with the Tommy John surgery.
It's remarkable. That and the Dominican, huh?
Popped up towards the seats it goes.
The Latin players are they're just so talented. And they're so hungry to come over here.
It's a way out.
Yeah, it's a way to feed their families. It's a way,
can I say that it's nice to see a good crowd here today?
Boy.
I've heard you guys talking about a little bit disappointing fan turnout. I think it was great yesterday. It's good today, and I want to thank everybody who came. I tweeted the other day that I thought we
Out front of a changeup there. I'm sorry, you what?
You
I
tweeted?
thought it'd be nice if we gave our team a little more support. You know, you go up to San Francisco, you guys were up there,
Oh,
it's
my
packed. We need a little more of that here, and we're starting to get it, though.
Starting
to get it. And, so it's nice to see this turnout today.
Yeah, they are. This place was rocking last night. I mean, it was going. It was awesome.
That's great. And Darren, I'm so old I watched your dad a lot of times.
Did you?
He was marvelous, wasn't he?
I'm old enough to have done that too. So.
Yeah.
That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded now. Yeah, it's a command issue, Senator, and you've watched him enough, even watching from afar. He has some of the best command of any pitcher in the game. Even though he just got here, he can hit corners with 2 pitches and then a distant third pitch to curveball like it's nobody's business.
Well, my other question, you know, from the viewers, like you guys do all the time, how important is it that we have a better record than Milwaukee and Atlanta?
I think it's very important. Don't you, Darren?
Yes.
Because you would get home field advantage.
That's the key. You open at home in the playoffs.
And you'd get 3 games at home in a 5-game series rather than 3 games on the road.
And we don't do as well on the road.
Well, not many teams do, exactly. And plus the Milwaukee Brewers are almost 30 games over 500 at home.
And I see they're winning today. But Atlanta's losing.
They're losing
Lost.
a lot. Yeah, they lost already, so that'll get a little tighter.
Down the line now. You boxed? Were you a boxer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, mediocre boxer and wrestler. And I was pinned in some of the nicest gyms in the East. And I boxed in Golden Gloves and thought that I was pretty good until I ran into some pretty good talent, and then I decided maybe the Navy life was for me.
I got the same story in my freshman year in high school. I decided I wanted to wrestle.
Yeah, it's a great sport.
Until I, within 10 seconds, was being suffocated beyond belief by my opponent, and I'm down on the mat, and he's got me pinned. And the referee's down there kind of checking my shoulders. I finally looked at the referee and said, "I'm down. Get him off me." That was the end of my wrestling career.
I know this is a tense moment here, so maybe we ought to wait and see what happens. I just had one story I want.
We're all right with it. We're all right with it.
Well, this is a tense moment.
They can see if you want to share, they can see.
It was about 12 years ago. I got a questionnaire from Esquire magazine. It said, the last question was, who's your living hero? I wrote down Ted Williams. I got the opportunity to spend an afternoon with him in Orlando. It was one of the great thrills of my life. A lot of people don't know he was a great pilot. John Glenn told me one time that Ted Williams was the best natural aviator that he...
Really?
Yeah, he said he was the best natural. They were in the same squadron in Korea. So Ted Williams is flying a first Marine jet. Plane is hit. It's on fire. Can't get his landing gear down. He lands wheels up at an outlying field. An incredible feat of aeronautical skill. And I kept asking him questions, and I said, well, Ted, why didn't you eject? Why didn't you eject from your airplane? He said, I looked at the canopy bow. It's an iron bow that goes. He said, I knew.
Keep going.
He said, I knew that if I ejected, I would break both my knees and never play baseball again.
Wow.
You know,
So
he missed the 3 years in World War II and 2 years in Korea. Can you imagine what that guy would have done?
No, it's unbelievable.
If he had, and he wasn't happy to go, but he didn't complain.
Right.
You know, he didn't say, "Hey, I'm glad to give up," especially when he was called back in the Korean War. But you know, he was the fiercest and most intense
Oh yeah.
guy.
Well, did you ever get to go fishing with him?
No, I didn't.
They say he was the best fisherman ever created.
Best bone fisherman.
Yeah, they said he was the best. And if you made any noise in that boat, you got that. You got a fanny chewing like you wouldn't believe.
Well, he was my inspiration. And last game he played in Fenway Park, as you know, last time at bat he hit a home run, and he refused to tip his hat.
And
why that story?
Why is that?
He hated the media.
Just.
But then, when they brought him back a number of years later, they wrote him around.
Sure, in the All-Star game.
Tipped his hat, but I don't think anybody had the talent that he did. Did you ever see anybody with the talent that he did?
Well, he was before my time. Yeah. But Albert Pujols, Barry Bonds is the best player I ever saw play. And I will throw the whole steroid issue out. He was the best player I ever saw.
Pure player.
Yes. Albert Pujols is fabulous. I got to see Willie Mays when I was a young boy. Hank Aaron as a young boy comes to mind as well.
One time we had a hearing on steroids in the Senate, and Hank Aaron came. I thought he was one of the most courtly gentlemen.
Oh, I agree.
I think let's get some mounts.
And Henry Aaron's no bigger than you, was he?
No, amazing. I heard you all talking about that the other day. What, 5'9" and 170 or something like that?
Hit 715 home runs or however many he hit.
Well, we're glad to see all your old buddies, Mark.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We got to. I'll tell you what, we're even better now than we were 10 years ago, according to us. This is going to get another run in, Senator. Uh-oh, we got issues. Nope. Okay.
Well, it's an honor, it's a two-part honor to sit and talk with you, number one. But probably the most fun thing for me sitting here is to hear what a fan you are, to hear you get a little ticked off. All right, let's go, guys. Let's get it going.
Well, I've been known to get a little excited from time to time. Mark has been my role model, and it's been really one of the toughest things in my life is not to get too carried away.
Every once in a while, I get a little temperamental.
Yeah.
Darren would never get temperamental.
If you care enough, sometimes.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I've in my declining years, I've learned to control it a little better. But it's been a wonderful life I've had. And one of the wonderful things about Arizona is this team, this stadium, the whole 2001 that united America. I wrote a thing in the Republic this morning. There was nobody in America that wanted to win, wanted the Diamondbacks to win, except us.
But you're exactly right.
That. But they took it real well, didn't they?
I thought New York City handled it as good as it could have possibly been handled. Don't you think? Mayor Giuliani was amazing. The citizens of New York were amazing. But we still wanted to kick their fannies. Trust me.
I've never been so disappointed as I was those games when they hit those home runs at the end.
It's over.
Thank
the
God.
Inning is over, Senator.
So glad to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Guys, get him some runs.
Good to be with you.
We got to get you some runs. We got to get some runs.
Got to get some
Senator.
runs.
Thank you, Senator.
Thanks.
They have any life-threatening things that can happen to us other than taking a liner off the forehead, which, knock on wood, never happens. But to think that he goes rushing into, extreme circumstances without even thinking about it kind of blows my mind still every time I think about it. And, we try to talk, at least once a day, if not once every other day, just to check in, see what's going on. And, I know he's proud of me, but I think I'm even prouder of what he does.
Well, the ties that bind and the family ties, J.J. Putz, speaking of his brother who saves lives, who is a firefighter, and it runs even deeper for Putz than just that. 1-0 the count to Henry Blanco. That is the case, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah, exactly. His uncle, also a firefighter. His grandfather, long before him, also doing what, like he said in that little soundbite right there, we certainly all admire the everyday heroes. And it was interesting, on this day that we commemorate the horrific events of 9/11, those firefighters that responded to the World Trade Center, J.J. Putz put it all into perspective. And it was interesting when they had that raffle as Henry Blanco drives into left field, but it's a line out. They raised about $100,000 in that ring raffle for everyday heroes, firefighters, and police officers, first responders here in Phoenix that day in, day out go out there and do remarkable stuff. So for JJ, it really put it all in perspective today.
And he is a guy with perspective.
Without a doubt. He gets it. And I talk to a lot of people about the success of this team, and I always point to JJ. He really understands so many facets of this game, of what that locker room is all about, and you know that he understands the importance of what those heroes do. They honored them before the game, but JJ is a guy I always go to get a real litmus test on what matters.
Good stuff, Brad. Thank you. Brad Steinke joining us, and it's so true with JJ. It's not lip service when he is respecting.
Oh yeah, but he's also so valuable because he has so much fun. Mm-hmm. And he makes sure all his guys down there in the bullpen are having fun, and the rest of the team. It's baseball. It's supposed to be fun, isn't it?
Yes. Our Nissan key to the game is unity. And on this September 11th, 10 years later, certainly an appropriate key to the game. We heard the United States Senator John McCain speaking of even having more unity, as that sign appropriately describes. It's a good looking face over the sign there. Well done. Now he's fired up.
Diamondbacks are sitting on one hit, and it was this man in the batter's box, Ryan Roberts, who hit the second pitch of the ball game from Wade LeBlanc. Rifled it into center field. Since then, LeBlanc has been fabulous.
Oh, and 1 the count. Well, they're done in Milwaukee. I'll tell you what happened in a moment.
That's just a heck of a pitch right there. What's going on in Milwaukee?
Well, it's over. Axford was very good. K-Rod was very good. And the Brewers in the 8th and the 9th locked it down. They beat the Phillies. They found a way to beat the Phillies, so time for Arizona to go to work.
Yeah, they got work to do.
Line drive right out to the shortstop. Plays made by Gonzalez. 1, 2, 3. 5 in a row sat down by LeBlanc. Play this fine game near section 111. There's always a winner. And again, Gila River Casinos, Kachinko. Cole Mentor looks for a cleanup inning. He faced 8 in the last inning.
He really struggled last inning. Struggled with his command. That's not like him. This is going to be a tough play for McDonald.
But he makes it, and he makes it look pretty easy.
Well, he did. Old bat flip just doesn't get down the line. But he is a slick one, isn't he? John McDonald, not bat flip.
No, he's not.
Let's see if he flips it. Yeah, I think he's just a flipper. Don't you? Whether he gets a hit or whether he makes an out, I think he just likes to flip it.
Somebody might want to talk to him about that. Or he gets flipped himself.
All right. Even on outs, huh?
Just play the game. LeBlanc takes a fastball over the outside. A strike. 0-1 the count. I mean, pitching, it's a pressure position now if you're a Diamondback. I mean, they have been so good and dependable that a day in which Cole Mentor's human were stunned by it. This group since the third week of August has been one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. Curveball, fly ball, run down on a backhand, just grabbed it out of the air. Chris Young. Our Kia text poll. Don't forget, Kia may reach out with a message on the other side if you send them a text and text along. If the Diamondbacks clinch the National League West, if they're fortunate enough to do so, when do you think it will happen? Will it happen this next series? Well, that'll be tough. At the Dodgers. At the Padres, which will be next weekend. Against the Pirates or against the Giants. A, B, C, or D. So will it take 3 more games, 6 more games, 9 more games, or 12 more games? Magic number is 8. Combination of Diamondbacks victories and San Francisco Giants losses. 8. So unless Arizona finds a way to rally today, it would be mathematically impossible to do it in LA.
That's exactly right. I can't see it happening in LA. Can you?
Well, no, because it'd be a combination of everyone winning and everyone losing. LA's not a club you sleep on right now.
They're playing great baseball. But the good thing is that was rifled into right field. Not a chance.
Really high bounce off that wall, and he shoots it back in. So Cameron Maben with a double. 21 doubles. And here's Chris Denorfia. It could happen in San Diego like a week from today. It could. Arizona's got to keep up their end, though, and play really good baseball. 6 games for both teams, that's a possibility. But you're assuming even then that San Francisco's not going to win a bunch this week.
Exactly. And the way that offense is going in San Francisco, they're not going to score a bunch. They were shut out again last night by the Los Angeles Dodgers and Dana Eveland.
Former Diamondback.
Yeah. More of a Diamondback minor leaguer.
Saw him in Milwaukee as well. So he's back shutting people out.
I guess so. At least the Giants.
Here's what's upcoming for the San Francisco Giants. They host the San Diego Padres. They go to Colorado and they visit Los Angeles.
Nobody with a 500 or higher record.
Change up, ground ball. Roberts to his left. Rockets it on across and in time for the out. All right, boys. Time to go to hitting for this man. He can't be great every time. Help him out. We're indoors still at Chase Field. Glad to have you with us. AT&T trivia question. Name the 3 rookie pitchers to start more than 15 games in a season for the Diamondbacks. The 3 rookie pitchers to start more than 15 games for the Diamondbacks. Good question. Parra leads it off against LeBlanc. 4-0 San Diego leads it, and the pitch is outside. 1-0 the count to Parra. The ground out in the first was a bunt attempt, and it went right back to the mound. He reached on a fielder's choice. That one misses outside.
He's laid off a couple of close ones. And that's what hitting left-handers is all about, Darren. Lay off those close ones. Now, he's a good fastball hitter. Now he's got a fastball count. He got the fastball he wanted, but he missed it. That's the difference. Can't miss those.
Parra with an 0 for 5 night last night, but his mates were there to carry him through. Last 11 games, he's got 15 hits, hitting .370 in that time. Good take.
Lays off another one there, a close one. Right back into that same fastball count he goes. He got a 2-0 hammer shot. He fouled it off. Let's see what he gets. 3-1.
In on the hands.
But he missed it. It was right there to hit again, folks. But he missed it.
Every time a Diamondbacks player hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Here's Aaron Hill. Hill playing out of that American League East as John McDonald did as well. In Toronto, they were always, I think, felt like trying to catch New York and Boston and Tampa. And by the way, wake up, folks. You were talking about this before. Tampa won again, beating Boston today.
Everybody thought it was just the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox. All of a sudden, a sweep now down in Tampa of the Boston Red Sox. And I'm telling you, the Tampa Bay Rays, they're no stranger to postseason play, folks. That's a very good team. They whipped Boston again.
And St. Louis has started winning. It may be too far of a jump to catch Milwaukee, but they're now 4.5 back in the wild card because Atlanta's struggling. Atlanta's lost 3 in a row. So yes, you can talk about the divisions in the wild card, and they're close to being wrapped up, but you better emphasize close and not emphasize wrapped up, because there's a couple of teams, one in St. Louis and one in Tampa, that hope to have a say in it. Be good for baseball if one of them went streaking. I mean, really had someone anxious and nervous.
Absolutely. Make a couple of cities. Hey, nothing better than the last couple of weeks. Huge games down the stretch. Remember last year with these Padres and the San Francisco Giants, right down to the final game of the season. And San Francisco goes on to win the World Series.
Pitch is high and away. 3-1 the count.
And you're right. That's good for the game of baseball, Darren. He was beat by a 3-1 fastball. We saw Gerardo Parra get beat by a 3-1 fastball. This time it's Goldschmidt that was tardy on that same fastball.
He just has the Arizona Diamondbacks in that hitter's rocking chair, and they always seem to be in the wrong spot. Soft and then hard, and then soft and then in. Pitches that you would think they could square up. They've been set up so well. Off the end of the bat, fly ball center field, and LeBlanc continues to handle the Arizona Diamondbacks. leads it off against Josh Comenter on this Sanderson Ford Family Sunday. Diamondbacks head to San Diego, California after this one. Get ready to battle with the San Diego Padres for 3. We'll have them for you. We'll take you through the weekend series with the Padres. Before that, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. Starting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the Dodgers. That pitch is in, and then it's the Padres Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 1-1 the count. Jesus Guzman. Slow.
There we go.
Ball.
That always makes my partner happy when Josh Comenter throws a good curveball. I know that makes Senator McCain very happy to see that as well, Darren.
He was kind of tired of looking at the poorly executed pitches. Into the dirt it goes.
That's not good. Too carried away out there, Josh, with that pitch. Just an occasional one. That's all you need.
That's why Cindy McCain on his left and saying hello, signing some autographs, and all right, nice to meet you. Now I'm
trying to watch the game.
Had to spend like eight hitters with these couple of Maroons up in the broadcast booth.
But he is an incredibly big Diamondbacks fan.
Gracie,
he loves his Diamondbacks.
You folks at home, we have monitors that we have set up for our use during the game that we have to kind of square up when we have a guest. He didn't like that he couldn't see the field.
Ball 4 again, Josh Comenter. Just for him, just uncharacteristically wild. How about that? Doesn't take me long.
No, but I mean base runners. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 walks and singles, 8, 9, a bunch of base runners. And this is a guy amongst all pitchers that has one of the lowest base runner per 9 totals in the game.
Very true.
And that's not just amongst rookies. Nick Hundley pitches low. Take a look at this group if we have that. The group of pitchers, base runners per 9. Now this is 20 or more starts. But Comenter is with these guys. This is legitimate. This is in the National League with 20 or more starts. So that's not rookies.
Exactly. He's had base runners all day. Had a clean first inning, and then it's just been base runners everywhere. There's a swing and a miss at a fastball up and out over the plate. Senator McCain really enjoyed seeing those soldiers too, didn't he?
He did with pride. He did.
And it didn't take him long to say Semper Fi, did it? He is such a popular senator out here.
And everyone understands that people stand in different places politically.
Of course, and I'm not talking about his politics.
No, I think outside of that, I think what everyone respects is someone who served our country and someone who is a sacrifice of someone who sacrifices their time, tragically sometimes their lives. You're talking about McCain, a retired Navy captain who stands and salutes. He was a prisoner of war.
Oh, man, for years.
Into the dirt it goes, and the runner trying to move up, go down into center field.
Just kind of a sloppy game all the way around. Very little hitting, very little defense. And Josh Comenter has not been at his best as well.
Hill got banged into pretty good. Took him a while to hop back up. And he'll be just fine. Yeah. Elbow, wrist, arm, the whole left side there. 2-2 the count. Belted, deep left. Going back, Calgill. To the wall, gone. 6-0 Padres.
And the Padres starting to get a little payback to Josh Comenter for the Diamondbacks banging away on him 3 in a row.
Commemorating hadn't given up a run to the Padres this year in one relief appearance and one start. Kirk Gibson says, I'm going to make a move and go to the bullpen. Zach Duke. Tough day for Josh Commemorating. There haven't been many of these.
He was wild, and when he did throw a strike, it got hit hard.
Move along. A tough day for the Diamondbacks today. We'll see what they have left, though. Now, if the Diamondbacks clinch the National League West, if they're fortunate enough, when do you think it will happen? You folks are thinking back home, and that's probably logical thinking.
I think that's very logical thinking.
Which means we need to see you here.
Which would be fabulous. Everybody.
We need to see you here. We want to see you here and enjoy the experience of a team as Zach Duke goes to work.
All right. Well, Darren, can the boys come from the clouds today?
Mm-hmm. They can. I can't say no anymore.
Why would you doubt them?
I can't say no. Is it a tall task and
You
unlikely?
bet so.
You bet. It's unlikely. But we've seen it before. We've seen them pick up their pitchers that struggle, only to see their pitchers paying back the next 3 starts. Daniel Hudson, ask him if it's ever happened. Daniel Hudson's had starts twice in which he has given up 6 runs and received a no decision in one and won the other one. The 2-1. That pitch is outside from Zach Duke. Into the dirt, so a tough start there for Duke against Anthony Rizzo as he draws a walk. And here is James Darnell. We mentioned Darnell, one of 7 San Diego Padres from the system that is headed to the Arizona Fall League. The Diamondbacks will have their players head over to Salt River Fields. The first year there will be a team on that side of town, right there at the beautiful spring training complex for the Diamondbacks. Pitches inside, and congratulations to a couple of guys along the way. First of all the players, but you and I both know him. Dan Carlson gets a chance to be a pitching coach in the Arizona Fall League. He's a Double-A pitching coach for the Mobile Bay Bears. So DC, as you call him and as players call him, congratulations. Swing and a miss. With Charles Brewer, pitcher, Adam Eaton, spectacular outfielder, David Nick, infielder, Eric Smith, pitcher, Ryan Wheeler, third baseman, and Brian Woodall will all play for the Salt River Raptors, they're called. 2-1.
Zach Duke having trouble locating.
2-1 the count. Duke, an all-star just a couple of years back in Pittsburgh. Pitch is low, 3-1 the count.
Yeah, Henry Blanco going to have to come out and have a conversation with Duke. Everything down into the dirt.
You can talk about pitchers, and even if you're quote-unquote a cleanup guy in a situation where the game's getting a little bit more out of hand, and you can talk about what it all means and will you fit in the postseason. Well, with Kirk Gibson saying that Jeff Blum will have a spot if healthy on the playoff roster, guys like Zach Duke and Sean Burroughs suddenly compete with one another.
Sure, of course.
Does that make sense, folks, and Gracie?
Makes a lot of sense.
Roberts plays it on the backhand, fires. Can he turn it over? Fabulous play by the Diamondbacks defensively.
That's one of the best double plays you'll ever see, folks. Started by Ryan Roberts.
If you're a pitcher, you better put a pep in your step when you see that help behind you. When, Gracie, you were missing a lot out of the zone.
Exactly right. Go to the backhand side, a perfect strike to Hill, who turns it quickly. Nice play.
What do you think of these Toronto Blue Jay, in form of Toronto Blue Jay middle infielders, McDonald and Hill?
They've been a lot of fun to watch, to be honest with you.
Orlando Hudson. Speaking of Hill, all right, he cleaned it up. Arizona seeing if they get, well, more than one hit in this game. Stay tuned, we'll report on it. Well, what a great trivia question we had earlier. I mean, word for word it said, AT&T brought it to us. Name the 3 rookie starting pitchers with the most starts in a season for the Diamondbacks. Guessing Brandon Webb's got to be on there, no? Yeah, there he is, Mike Owings and Brad Halsey.
Wow, the Brad Halsey sighting. Haven't heard much of Brad after he left here.
0-1 the count to Chris Young. Tell me about him, Gracie.
Left-handed pitcher. Did some good things here for the Diamondbacks. He was sent to the Oakland A's, and I don't remember for who, but he was sent to the Oakland A's and then just didn't do much after that.
Right back to the screen. Well, how about Juan Cruz was who came back. I just looked it up for you.
That's who it was for, huh?
And he, let's see, he pitched for the Oakland A's organization. Made only 7 more starts after that year in the major leagues, and that was it in the major leagues after 06. 1-2 the count, Chris Young. And Brad Halsey is still playing in the minor leagues with the Yankees organization.
Good for him.
A little topper. That is a foul ball. Got one more note for you on him, but first our CenturyLink high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. LeBlanc. Neither one of those guys from the right have to throw hard. Just an off day, if you will, for Colementer.
And we really don't need to hear a whole lot more about Brad Halsey.
I just have one more update for you because I know you were concerned. You know, he made his way back. A couple years independent league ball. Just disappeared. Played in Long Island and Gary, Indiana.
Here's the 1-2 to Chris Young.
Just like to finish the story for you.
And he'll step out. Got tired of waiting.
See, you kind of made the gesture of commenting on Halsey on that list.
Well, I suppose you're right.
The 1-2.
My mistake.
Outside, 2-2 the count. It starts with one. Matt Williams, you've shared it with us. Matt Williams says, just get me one. Get me one extra base hit, one base runner, one stolen base, one fine play. Well, a rally starts with one. Just one at a time. Just unfortunately, they only have one hit in this entire ball game against LeBlanc.
He was the very first batter of the game, Ryan Roberts. Since then, it has been all Wade LeBlanc.
Takes high, very close.
LeBlanc wanting to know where that one was. Tim Sheeta must have thought it was outside.
Tim eyes Young as he gets back into the box. To the backstop it goes.
Just able to nick it foul.
This is only the third game for Diamondbacks pitchers. A starter has given up 4 or more runs in a start. That's in their last 18. The 3-2. Popped it up and into the seats it goes. Have we seen a real comfortable pass at the baseball?
Only off of Ryan Roberts' bat. That was it.
Three and two the count. Sounds like Julius is getting it going down
Julius
there.
Julius got him going. Trying to get the fans going.
Yeah, he's trying to get it going.
Julius is fabulous.
I'll show him to you in a bit. The 3-2. Inside corner, strike 3. Poured a fastball in there. There he is. He had him going, and he's representing those that protect and serve.
Just a big-time pitch right there from LeBlanc. Right on the inside corner it goes. Tim Sheeta rings it right up, and rightly so. That was a heck of a pitch.
Colin Cowgill grabs his lumber, and he goes to work now. A little bit more on what he's using today in that batter's box. Brad, what do you know down there?
Well, the rookie got a very special package delivered to the clubhouse the other day. It was a shipment of Louisville Slugger bats, and his first as a major leaguer, but you could tell they were a little bit different. They had a different look to them and certainly a different grain to them, so much so that Justin Upton, who lockers next to Colin, grabbed one, and you could tell he was admiring it. He called over hitting coach Don Baylor, and Groove also admired the bat, and he said, hey, this is special. Don't use this for BP. Don't use this for soft toss off the lefty. He said, this is a gamer. And across the locker room, Sean Burrow said, hey, rookie, why are you getting a special bat? And Cowgill said, I am, after all, from Kentucky. So, guys, I guess when it comes to getting lumber from Louisville Slugger, it pays to be from the Bluegrass State.
That's good stuff. Thank you, Brad. The 1-1. Gracie, that looks like an ash bat, correct?
Yeah, that's an ash bat, and it doesn't matter how the grains are. If he keeps swinging and missing those change-ups, he has had real trouble picking out the changeup from Wade LeBlanc.
What did a hitter, and you used an ash bat, what do you look for to make it a quality bat?
The thicker the grain, the more space between the grains, the better the wood.
Went away. Cowgill on the ground.
Yeah, that's pretty good wood right there. He's 0 for 2.
I love the angle that, if you're from the state of Kentucky, that That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good angle as John McDonald goes to work. Sean Burroughs shouldn't say anything. Chase Utley delivers him bats.
Great point.
But Sean's never shy to say things. We do know that.
Never been a problem for Sean Burroughs.
Here's John McDonald.
Well, this guy's Steve Carlton out there right now. Wade LeBlanc came in with an ERA near 5, or 6, didn't he?
Well, and it's near 6 in his career against Arizona, too. Breaking ball is high. Quick reminder, anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase between 4 and 6 the following day. And of course today, after the ball game, you can enjoy based on last night's run total. 1-2 the count. We mentioned LeBlanc beaten by San Francisco last time out. In his last 3 starts, his ERA is over 7. He's given up 13 runs in 15 innings.
Not today.
Went inside.
He is officially Steve Carlton today.
He's only struck out a pair, 1 swinging, 1 looking. He got Young looking here in the 5th inning. And when LeBlanc does get his strikeouts, it's rarely with a swing and a miss. It's usually looking.
The reincarnation of Steve Carlton today, folks.
And it's time for the D-Backs Legends Race, presented by Henkel.
People who passed away in the tragic events of 9/11. We also honor those who continue to protect and serve this great nation of ours. Honored to be joined by Air Force Staff Sergeants Michael and Markia Giles. And let me start with you. It's part of Sanderson Ford, who's been such a great partner to Fox Sports Arizona and the Diamondbacks. Seats for Soldiers. These are actually Seats for Soldiers. What a great program.
It is. It is a great program. We're totally honored to be sitting in these seats. It's awesome. We're really enjoying the game.
You sang the national anthem and did a remarkable job. What is that like to do on a day that means so much to Americans?
It's awesome. It's my tribute to those who have sacrificed their lives, and that's why we serve and we do what we do so we can keep our country safe.
I had the pleasure and privilege of knowing Pat Tillman. He signed up as soon as 9/11 happened. You did the exact same thing. You were not a part of the military before this day 10 years ago. You decided to change things.
I did. It just so happened that I was going to MEPS that morning when those events happened, and we were told about it, and a bunch of us were asked. The towers were hit. We're more than likely going to be going to war. Do you still want to join? Most definitely. And if I could do it again, I'd do it again.
And Michael, you were stationed in Germany when 9/11 happened. What were your thoughts back then, 10 years ago?
Back then, I was like, wow, this is different. Just seeing this happen and what people have to go through to be in the military. And like I said, I wouldn't, if I could do it, I would do it again.
What is it like now that it's 10 years after those horrific events? The will and the strength of the military, every bit as strong as it was back then?
Yes, sir. It's still the same. I feel it's still the same, just like it was back then. Everyone is sticking together and doing what we got to do to become as one.
Now, I have to tell people you're wearing a Yankees hat. Now, if you were here yesterday, would you have worn that? Because, we were celebrating the 01 World Series champs, so who beat the Yankees,
Yes, sir. I'm not a Yankees fan, but I just wear it because it's a black hat. That's the only reason.
And introduce your family. This is Michael, correct?
Yes, sir. This is Micah.
And, by the way, he's not watching baseball. I think he's watching Shrek.
Yes, sir. He's watching Shrek.
And who's behind us here?
I have Jalen.
Hi. Who's that right there?
And I have Christian.
How you doing? Now, you're stationed at Luke Air Force Base, but you've been stationed all over the country as well.
Yes, sir. I've been stationed in Swindon, Germany, and Cannon Air Force Base, and then Luke.
Yeah. And what about your deployment? Where have you been?
I've been to UAE. I've also been TDY to London and Camp Bullis in Texas, in San Antonio, Texas.
Well, we certainly thank you for your service to this great country, and enjoy the Seats for Soldiers by Sanderson Ford. It's been great. You did a marvelous job with the anthem, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Guys, we'll send it back to you. A couple of heroes who 10 years ago decided to join the armed forces to help make a difference.
Thank you, Brad. And how about making that decision on the day that the towers fell and saying, I'm still all in. Well, that was wonderful. That was an honor to hear that conversation. Too tough to turn that one with Maben running. There are a couple of outs in the inning, and Zach Duke trying to get his team back in the dugout. Arizona with plenty of more chances to go to work, but again, they've got to start finding a way to chip away. Wade LeBlanc, he is erased on the fielder's choice ground out. Trust you've had a good weekend to this point. Mark Grace, Darren Sutton, and you've heard Brad just a moment ago. Thanks for inviting us into your home. And Arizona wearing the throwback uniforms, opting after Friday night to wear the purple all weekend long. Gracie, did you like the sleeveless better, or did you like the ones with actual sleeves attached?
I liked them both, but I liked the sleeveless a little better with the purple undershirt. What they're wearing today, the best look. We had some cool black road.
I remember
jerseys
seeing
too,
those.
and the road jerseys were black pinstripes instead of the purple. Very big league.
1-0 the count on Chris Denorfian. Drops down a bunt, past Duke, with all the intention in the world in getting it there. Otherwise, there's no reason to bunt. Wow. And he gets on in front of Jesus Guzman.
You can see Duke does everything he can, but it's past him. A bunt base hit for Denorfia. It's kind of what he does against the Diamondbacks. He just gets hits.
Guzman lets it travel and pops it to the right side where it's into the seats. Guzman joining the big league ranks in June 17th. And since then, he is one of the best hitters in the National League. In that time, only Ryan Braun, Troy Tulowitzki, Skip Schumacher, and Aramis Ramirez have a better batting average. So he is 5th in that time. 1-1 the count. 2-1 the count. A sinking fastball down and away. Tomorrow, it is Joe Saunders against Ted Lilly. First pitch 7:10. We'll be on the air. We'll have it for you. It's Ian Kennedy against Chad Billingsley. That's a pretty good one. How about that? As Kennedy goes for his 20th win. Ian will go for his 20th win on Tuesday night.
Good for him.
The 2-1. Hot shot past Roberts into left field, and that'll cost Arizona a run. You knew it would take a fabulous play to get an out of it, but if Roberts would have been able just to keep it with him. It was hard hit, though.
It was hard hit, and that's a play that Ryan Roberts will tell you he should probably make. It'll go as a base hit, but as you said, it was hit hard, and Roberts just didn't get the glove down.
Well, yet another RBI. Again, he got here June 17th. That's 42 RBIs for Guzman. And that's exactly what D'Onofrio was thinking when he dropped down that bunt. I'm going to set this guy up. 7 runs for the San Diego Padres.
And on an NFL day, Padres have put up a touchdown.
Nick Hundley hit a 2-run homer back in the 5th inning. He has also walked and he has doubled. Outside, 2-0 the count.
Zach Duke's fallen behind just about every single batter, and you can see Zach's probably got some rust. It's few and far between his outings. So I would imagine it's easy to get some rust, fall behind people, miss out of the zone. Quality strike there.
Now, thinking back to having the Senator John McCain join us in the booth, how about him sharing a story of spending time with Ted Williams?
Oh, that was awesome.
You can tell he really loves baseball. Outside, 3-1. Chopped where Hill will play it and trot on over to the bag in time for the out. Another run for the Padres. They lead it 7-0 over the Diamondbacks.
Just wanted to pay my respects to all the families who have lost loved ones in the military. You know, it doesn't go unappreciated. Appreciate everything that the military does for us to keep us safe and look over our country. Thank you very much.
We echo those sentiments of Chris Young, his teammates, certainly his manager, and that coaching staff as Arizona Diamondbacks. We thank you for our freedom to play this game, for the players to cover this game as a broadcaster and to enjoy it as a fan safely. As they gather en masse, these guys are proud to be wearing their uniform, but they hope the boys in the purple uniforms today can put together a bit of a fight in the end. Ralph Kelso, by the way.
There he
Great
is.
job on our crew. Look at that.
Howdy, fellas.
Look at that sexy guy.
Wow.
I think that was
he's got a female fan.
He looks good up there.
And there's no question, Ralph is a sexy guy.
It's a lot further than he wanted it to go already.
How about that, Ralph? Asking you shall receive.
The 1-1 is high and inside.
Ralph
2
is
and 1
bringing
the
sexy back. There's Holly. I think that was Holly's voice we heard.
Outside, 3-1 the count.
Hey, we haven't had many games like this year. Sometimes, we can just do that.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay to let your hair down. Belted. Is he homering Henry? Is he? You bet he is. Back to the top of the list of my favorite nicknames, Henry Blanco with his 7th home run of the year, a Fulton Homes homer. $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Homer and Henry.
He is certainly Homer and Henry. That's his 7th and his 10th RBI.
El Capitan, they call him, and they love to cheer when it's their guy's day. He doesn't play very often, but he is a leader, not just of those of Latin descent, but of all players in there. 7 of his 22 hits this year have been home runs. Zach Duke into center field. All right, Arizona. Make a little bit of noise now. They've got an awful long way to go, but at least there's a quick gasp for air for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, there's still a long ways to go, but Homer and Henry always lights a fire. A little fire under Zach Duke, who's swung it very well this year in the few at-bats he's had. He's homered a couple times. I kind of like the Fu Manchu Zach's got working there, don't you?
Got a little edge to him.
Yeah.
Even though he's one of the soft-spoken, nicest guys, you would never know with that look. Well, here we go, Diamondbacks fans. The 3rd time through the order against the starting pitcher. That pitch is low. They'll talk about it. They tend to, especially when the starter's still out there, find their comfort that 3rd time through. That's why you don't give up hope. Batting average really increases. The on-base plus slugging, that's 100-plus league average. League average is 715 in OPS. So again, they just get it going that 3rd time through. Roberts singled back in the 1st inning. 1 of 3 hits in this game. He's trying to hit a 6-run homer there.
He sure was, wasn't he? And if you'll excuse me, Darren, if you want to guarantee access to Diamondbacks postseason tickets, the only way to do it is by becoming a season ticket holder. D-backs season tickets for 2012 are on sale now, so give the ticket office a call today at 602-462-4600, where you can guarantee your postseason tickets by becoming a 2012 season ticket holder.
Good stuff. And great to be talking about the possibilities of postseason. I like that giveaway T-shirt today, that red, white.
Do you?
That's sharp. You see them all wearing them right behind home plate as well. Well done on the design side. Line drive, center field base hit. All right, Gerardo Parra. He's not looking to bunt as he did in the 1st inning. That's a whack. Lefty on lefty, too.
Slider hangs right in the middle of the plate, and he just rips it right back up the box. And the Diamondbacks trying to put a big number on the board. Now, all of a sudden, the guys that have been hot, guys like Aaron Hill, Paul Goldschmidt, an opportunity to get them a little closer.
Hill reached on a fielder's choice, and he grounded out to short, so he is hitless in 2 tries. Just pulled it back. Pulled the string on him with a changeup. 0-1 the count. Aaron Hill rolling through a 13-game hitting streak. And a real one. That's 22 hits in his last 13 games. Belted, right center field. Toward the gap it goes. Easy back to make the play is Denorfia. Duke moves up to third. He gave us a thrill, Mr. Hill, for just a moment, but the ballpark held it. But here's Paul Goldschmidt. One never knows what may happen when he makes contact.
Wade LeBlanc still very economical with his pitch count. Now we're going to have another meeting on the mound. Just what do I want to do with this young slugger here, Nick Hundley? Well, we've gotten him to fly out a couple of times to center field, once on a fastball and once on a changeup. I think they're going to try to off-speed him here. What do you think, Dan?
I think so. Change-ups. And it's not the worst thing in the world if you throw him change-ups away the whole time.
And that was the cut fastball and a dandy strike 1.
Ball has homered all over the ballpark in the major leagues, but a majority have been pulled to left. Has homered to center as well. Change up away. Well decorated for his minor league exploits. He hopes that his team now is, as a group, well decorated for postseason exploits. Because he's going to be right in the mix once October starts, should Arizona continue on and win the West. Nice take. That's a good take right there.
It really was. A lot of young sluggers especially would have chased that and swung and missed it.
Talked to a scout friend of mine that said about Goldschmidt, until he gets to 2 strikes, he takes as well as any power hitter out there. Still is growing with 2 strikes. Isn't where he needs to be yet. But loves his discipline up until 2 strikes.
Another good fastball to the outside corner, 2-2.
So now this is the part of the at-bat, according to that scout, he still has to work on the 2-strike approach.
Well, and that's something that he's never really had to do. He's been a power hitter with 2 strikes, no strikes, 1 strike, it doesn't matter. But he's never faced this kind of talent before that can really bury you with 2 strikes.
The 2-2. Hung around.
Didn't quite get that fastball where he wanted, did LeBlanc. He left it in the middle of the plate. Goldschmidt was just a little quick with it.
Outfield deep. And left playing the pull just a bit. Infield really playing the pull. Hudson close to the bag at second. Probably won't hit anything on the ground to the right side. There's a ton of room over there. Changeup. Oh, he tried to stay back.
But it was the placement of the changeup. It was perfectly placed on the outside corner at the knees. He didn't leave it in the middle of the plate. Watch the location of the changeup. That's what made it such an effective pitch, was the location of it. Goldschmidt waited and waited, and he was on it. It was just in too good a spot to do anything with.
So I guess better said, he spoiled it.
Yes, exactly right.
Two outside, and I mean just outside.
He's having a good at-bat. He's having a very good at-bat. Now the runner at first base. Gerardo Parra will be off to the races. Right there, that just tells you you're unsure about what you want to throw. So you just do a token toss over there and give yourself maybe 20 more seconds to figure out just what I want to throw to Goldschmidt right here.
Outside ball 4. Boy, he tried to cut that fastball on the corner, and he didn't get it there. But baby, was it close.
Well, Black's done. He's seen enough of Wade LeBlanc. I'm shocked at this. I'm absolutely shocked at this.
Well, certainly, are they just having a conversation?
No, he's done. 83 pitches in. He is done. And you can see Wade LeBlanc is not happy at all with the decision of his manager. I don't blame him.
I don't either.
I'm a big Bud Black fan, a very big Bud Black fan, but you got to let the kid pitch this one.
Above gorgeous Chase Field. And we remind all of you that as part of our Fox Sports Supports charitable initiative, we are proud to wear pins during our 2011 season to support Stand Up to Cancer.
And all of a sudden, we've got a little turning point in the game right here, Darren Sutton.
Eric Cameron. He has worked 11 times in the major leagues total. And for a couple of nights in a row, Bud Black has had an early hook on starting pitchers.
Eric Cameron, a sidewinding right-hander. He's going to be facing Chris Young, who's starting to come around a little bit, especially in this series. You can see the funk to hammer, and there's Zach Duke, who got a base hit, Gerardo Parra, who got a base hit, and Paul Goldschmidt, who walked after Homer and Henry Blanco hit a solo shot to start the inning.
Belted down the line. It's in there. Into the triangle. One run is in. Another run. Matt Williams with the stop sign, getting closer to being a ball game. How do you think Wade LeBlanc enjoyed that one? I know these Diamondbacks fans love it.
Sometimes you want anybody but the starting pitcher who was dealing. And Cameron comes in, he faces Chris Young, who's starting to swing the bat much better, and he rips it down the left field line. Sure as the world, 2 more runs come in. Bud Black made the wrong decision there.
Now a Cal Gill single. Should he be able to pull it off as he celebrates with his mates from afar? We'll make it a true ball game at 7-5. A single is all it takes now. Slow breaking ball. When you're making decisions like this, I guess if you're out of the race, you're trying to see what you have for next year in these type situations. But boy, that's what instructional league and spring training's for.
Yeah, 70 some odd pitches into the game.
Hit into center field. We've got ourselves a ball game. Here come the Diamondbacks. It's 7-5.
And one Wade LeBlanc is fit to be tied right now in the San Diego.
Don't blame him.
Absolutely don't blame him.
Colin Cowgill drives in the pair. This crowd's engaged now, folks. This good crowd. Pitch is low from Hamren. Again, this is no offense to Hamren. He's still learning how to do it at this level. He's only pitched in 11 games in the major leagues prior to this. Hanging breaking ball, 2-0 the count.
Missed badly with that one.
And you can by nature just imagine the angst now that he feels. And he's got, even though it's not directly on him, he's thinking about Wade LeBlanc right now, which is the last thing he should be doing.
He's already given up all of Wade LeBlanc's runs and one of his own.
Outside, 3-0 the count. And the man who started it all waits on deck. Bud Black, with a low pitch count, goes and gets his starting pitcher, who the Diamondbacks had done nothing against. And I'll include the Blanco homer.
Yeah.
Inside an extended corner, 3-1. But a good pitch. There's the guy who got it all started. He's waiting to hit again. Something about this team. It's just like one wake-up call. Bang, here they come.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
And here they are the third time through. A little chopper and it's foul.
That's not the worst thing in the world, because now Colin Cowgill gets a running start on this 3-2 pitch. Now, anything in a gap or down a line is going to score Cowgill.
Gosh, you can think of like a Willie Mo Pena homer earlier this year, Milwaukee in a comeback, a Sean Burroughs homer in a comeback in Washington, when the team should have been out of it. One unlikely guy, the 3-2. Swing and a miss, but what an inning. The Diamondbacks score 5. Henry Blanco got to go with the homer. This crowd likes it too. They're coming out of their seats. The third time through the order, these snakes have a deadly bite. Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. CenturyLink. Quest is now CenturyLink. Visit CenturyLink.com to learn more. Seven to 5 is the score. Chris Young, Colin Cowgill, part of an Arizona comeback, and Zach Duke. He also pitched in a single.
All of a sudden now Zach Duke finds himself in a ball game. This is no longer mop-up time. This is get 3 quick outs and get back in the dugout, and unfortunately falls behind again here to start the 7th inning.
Brad Ziegler. Into left field, over, under, out. By the way, the 10th man has arrived with that half inning. I mean, the crowd clearly is there and ready to roll.
Take the D-backs wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every D-backs game on demand on your computer. Visit dbacks.com for details. MLB.tv. That's baseball everywhere.
Breaking ball is outside. So asking around a little bit about why LeBlanc, why there, why take him out. You know, some of the early responses from some of those around the team and boos and riders down the way is that LeBlanc, you know, 3rd time through he struggles. So I thought, okay, well, maybe with the Diamondbacks success is the 3rd time through, and maybe with Bud Black knows about him. That's just not the case. I mean, statistically, he is his best against the lineup the 3rd time through. He is his best the 3rd time through. But he rarely, when you look at the numbers, gets the opportunity. Half the at-bats the 3rd time through.
There you go. I mean,
and he wasn't given a chance in this night.
So his argument can be, well, how do you know if I can handle those situations if you don't allow me to handle those situations? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you bet. And there have been times when they've questioned his, you know, intestinal fortitude, his ability to pitch in tough situations. But Buddy Black there opted to go get him. Number off the end of the bat. Fair ball. That's a fair ball. Darnell.
He decided not to run.
He just stood there and watched it. Now here is Orlando Hudson.
Let's take a look at what first base umpire Jim Reynolds saw. Oh, it had some spin. He had a perfect look at it. It's tough to tell from that angle. We were still not on the line, but that's smart of Goldschmidt not to play umpire and go over there and field it anyway. Don't just assume it's going to be foul.
Switch hitter Orlando Hudson. 1-1 the count. If you're just joining us, Arizona was trailing 7-0 just a few ticks ago, and they put 5 on the board in the 6th. And you can sense the crowd, those that are here, and a good crowd again today. There's some whistles we are hearing from the group all about. They just want to see the boys get back in and hit.
Exactly. And Zach Duke trying to have that quick inning that he needs. He falls behind. 3-1 now.
That club in the home dugout. And you and I said it. As that's a broken back ground ball. John McDonald. Get back in that dugout and go to hitting. What a play by John. And by the way, don't forget, he struck out to end the last half inning. He didn't take his bat to the field. As well, go ahead and stand up on this Sunday afternoon and stretching on out. 7-5 the score, and they've been stretching these fans. And I would imagine you've been clapping a bit at home if you're a Diamondbacks fan over the last inning or so, because suddenly they've made it a ball game. Listen to Bobby for a sec. Is that all right with you, Greg?
I think it's a great idea.
All right, Bobby, well done. 7-5, and they have clawed their way back into it. And late in ball games, it's an interesting collection of teams that hit really effectively. You'll be surprised by one on the list. You think the Red Sox, sure, the Diamondbacks, those are big-time teams.
Astros.
I told you you'd be surprised.
Well, the Astros they're kind of stinky this year.
Well, they've hit a lot the last few weeks with the new kids. I mean, they presented the Astros actually helped the Diamondbacks win by taking care of San Francisco.
Well, that helps, certainly. San Francisco leading today as we speak against the Los Angeles Dodgers, 3-1 in the 6th inning. Speaking of those guys.
Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning pool play. He needs to get it going again. Henry Blanco to lead it off. We like to call him Homer and Henry because, well,
it's kind of what he does.
He hits homers. He's got 7 of them. Into the dirt it goes. Mr. Bass takes the baseball. Anthony Bass, the big, tall, right-handed pitcher. He, too, will be competing in the Fall League when you go to check out some of those games this fall. Or the Peoria Club, as that one is a low and below the zone pitch, 2-0. He's been good. He's been real good. You can see why he's earned the right here and in the Arizona Fall League. Over the outside corner. Big turn as he comes home like a power pitcher.
Ball 3. Henry Blanco looking to do his job, and his job is to get on base and get the tying run up there.
Henry Blanco, foul ball. Boy, folks out of their seats. Top step of that dugout. All his teammates hopped up.
Well, he just missed a double. Nice play down the line there. We'll find out who our Gold Glover is here shortly. Who's our Gold Glover today, Darren?
You know what? That's Bruce Weinshoff down there. He made a great play. Henry, base hit, left field.
Bruce didn't have to make the play on that one.
He's got 2 hits today.
Three-2 slider, and Henry just stays right on it. Rips it into left field. Beautifully done.
Number 27, Jeff Blum.
Jeff Blum now. He receives the pinch hitting assignment since regaining health and activation. 7 of 26 at .269 clip with a couple of home runs as well. Last 4 or 5 years, this has been his specialty. And it's one of the reasons that he was brought on board by Kevin Towers. These moments here. Breaking ball never got there, and Blum takes high. Bottom half of inning number 7. And Kevin Towers has his bench guy. Glad to have him healthy. Talking shop right now, trying to figure out what comes next. Awkward swing.
Beauty.
Did he talk him into throwing another one is the question. To the backstop it goes. Now a runner in scoring position for Blum.
Well, that is so painful if you're the San Diego Padres, because now you no longer have the double play in order. And now you make it much easier for the Diamondbacks to just play for one run in this situation. Now, if you're Jeff Blum, you're fine now with just pulling the ball on the ground and moving Henry Blanco over to third base. And playing for one run's not the worst thing, because you still got plenty of outs left in this situation.
Planning to pull in the outfield.
Yeah, you'd love a base hit, but now you can just, if you wish, you can just go ahead and pull the ball on the ground and set up Ryan Roberts for a free ribby. You can see that's what he was trying to do, but he was out in front of a changeup.
Clearly trying to do there. Blum since 2005, so that's been quite some time. Has 43 pinch hits. He's a .293 pinch hitter in that time span. So as he's gotten older, he's gotten better at this assignment. Not many can do this. Into the dirt. That one hit him.
That one hit him. So nobody will move up, but Jeff Blum,
wow,
representing the tying run now, moves to first base. Another mistake there by Bass. A wild pitch and then a hit batsman. Right off the toe of Jeff Blum it goes. And that turns around the lineup. Ryan Roberts now representing the go-ahead run at the plate.
So you look at things, too, for the Diamondbacks. This is the 7th, and then you have the 8th. And with the usage of Heath Bell, meaning not very often, you want to get things done in the next two innings. Even though you got Heath Bell and you got him last night, that ups the chances that you won't today. So next two innings, it has to happen for Arizona. And they're off to a good start here in the 7th.
Both the third baseman, Darnell, and the first baseman, Rizzo, playing in at bunt depth. They're thinking Ryan Roberts is going to be bunting.
What do you think?
I don't think he is. I don't think he'll be bunting right here.
And they're really helping him out.
I think he's swinging it.
Puts it on the ground. Safe. And a hard slide by Blum going into Orlando Hudson. Hudson managed to get something on it, but the veteran was not about to miss the opportunity. And boy, you would have hated to have a double play occur.
Yeah, it just hit slowly enough for Ryan Roberts to get out of the box. Now he's hustling all the way, and as you said, Blum going in hard. Just ahead of the throw. As you see Blum going in there, trying to get Orlando Hudson.
Oh, he got him, didn't he?
Just ahead, yeah, a little kick in the shin there. Now Gerardo Parra's got an opportunity to get the Diamondbacks a run closer, just with an out. And Bud Black's gonna go to his pen. He's already made the move.
You didn't see slides like that the last couple of years. Diamondbacks this year, it's been fun to watch just a couple of cagey older guys. Just a couple of veterans that are out there realizing they may be playing 100 more ball games in their career. A beautiful slide. Hudson had no problem with it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Doesn't mean we don't like it. lefty, so he sits. And when we talk about a lefty, that lefty will face Justin Upton. He's seldom pinch hit user throughout his career, just the 14th at bat in which he has been used as a pinch hitter in his career.
Well, you knew that Kirk Gibson was going to find, he had Justin Upton in his pocket the whole game, and it looked like, well, he's going to get a day off when it was 7-0.
Tell us about that.
But now all of a sudden, he's going to get a chance off of Joe Thatcher. Joe Thatcher, a sidewinding left-hander, kind of steps towards the foul pole when he's thrown. He was the guy that walked Lyle Overbay on 4 pitches to end the game yesterday. So Justin Upton, a big opportunity here.
Let's watch Thatcher, see if he can get ahead. They say a different pitcher if he doesn't, as the at-bat goes on. There it is, strike one, 0-1 the count. Remember, he fell behind last night, Overbay, and it was done after ball one. Justin, 10 of his last 24 against Southpaws. That's well over 400. Outside. Oh, good numbers. Small sample size, as we like to say in the stat world. Like a lot of talented right-handed power hitters, they're better, especially slugging the ball against lefties. Outside. He's got a runner at third to deal with in Henry Blanco. And over there at first is Ryan Roberts, who can thank Jeff Blum for being there. Blum with a hard tag, or slide I should say, breaking up a double play. Love that slide.
Well, 2-1 count now for Justin Upton. He can look to lock and load here. Oh, what a pitch. Oh, he didn't get the call.
Oh, my goodness. 3-1.
Thatcher looking in like, where's your right arm, Tim Sheeta? He didn't get the call. Well, that's because it was outside. He comes from so far on the other side of the mound that it just looks like it got there, but it obviously didn't, did it, Darren?
It was close. It didn't, according to our computer.
Yeah, good point.
The eye test told us it looked like a strike. And Thatcher certainly wanted it. But he's right there on it. 3-1 the count. Swing and a miss.
Just reared back and threw it right by Justin Upton. Now 3-2.
Any thoughts on Roberts at first?
I think he's staying put. I think they just want Justin Upton to sit up there and not worry about protecting because the runner's going. They just want him to pick out a pitch and get his rip at it if it's a strike.
Runner stays put. It's hit onto the ground. The throw, and the run scores. Pulled him a bit off the back. I don't know if they would have doubled up Upton. Hudson having a talk with Darnell over there, so it's a one-run game now.
I think they would have had the double play if not for a poor throw there by Darnell.
Okay. Big run.
That is, it's a very big run. You can just see it's a one-hopper, and I think that's a tailor-made double play, and I don't know how Tim Welke thought Hudson stayed on the bag there. But that's the call. And we've got, what do we got here? Another pitching change?
Looks like we have that, maybe a double switch going on. Looks like, I think that's Andy Perino coming in. Here's what we'll do. To get things pieced back together, to figure out what's going on, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Please patronize our sponsors, won't you? And Justin Upton reached on a fielder's choice ground out. And ready to go to work right behind him is Aaron Hill with the 13-game hitting streak. He's 0 for today. Luke Gregerson switches the batting order around because Andy Perino is at third base now. So with Perino batting ninth, Luke Gregerson, who is on the mound, he bats sixth. So there you have the reset for Gregerson. It's slider and another slider and a really good slider after that. 56 appearances now this year, and he's been great on the road, amazingly enough.
The human slider machine, Luke Gregerson, got one of the best in all of baseball. Aaron Hill probably hasn't faced Luke Gregerson, and if he has, it ain't very much because he's been in the American League. And he'll see some sliders that he will probably be like, wow. There's the first one. He missed with it.
1-0 the count to Aaron Hill. He pitches at Petco Park in San Diego. It is known as a pitcher's ballpark. His ERA is over 4 at Petco. On the road, it's below 2. He's keeping an eye on Justin Upton. Stole another one.
And it's ball 2 now. Just pressing the accelerator. Justin Upton gets a great jump. Really no chance there for Hundley. He does the best he can, but Upton got in there easily.
Continuing to swipe bags, 21 stolen bases.
Another
Outside.
slider, he misses again. Boy, this San Diego bullpen, once the staple of the pitching staff of the San Diego Padres, has really let his manager and his pitching coach down in this series. Padre starters have been pretty good in this series. Padre bullpen's really struggled.
Padre starters, though, haven't been allowed to pitch deep into games. They pitched well. Pitches high, ball 4. I mean, think about it, Gracie. This is a different ball game if you allow a pitcher to.
I'm talking about Heath Bell last night.
Oh, I agree with that. That's stunning. You're not used to ever that happening. Right. You're right.
Chad Qualls was beaten after Matt Latos went 7 1/3.
It was great.
Yeah, I mean, and then today, 6 runs since they've come in. Now 3 of them were credited to Wade LeBlanc. Now all of a sudden, this thing is getting real interesting. Is Paul Goldschmidt going to get an opportunity? Gregerson yet to throw a strike.
He has walked and flied to center twice.
Ball 5 from Gregerson.
That was a fastball at 91.
And probably trying to set up the slider here that he's going to throw. I mean, he throws so many sliders. At least 4 out of 5 pitches are going to be sliders. So you buzz his tower with a fastball, now go right back to the sliders. And I'm sure that's what Goldschmidt has been told by Don Baylor and or Kirk Gibson.
Slider takes it like he knew it was coming.
And just spit on it. Just spit on it. Ball 6 now from Luke Gregerson. I mean, this is a tantalizing pitch. Oh, it's a strike. It's a strike. Nope, it is not. We've already been told over there that you got to leave that one alone. And just because it's 2-0 doesn't mean you're getting a fastball here from Luke Gregerson.
Couple of runners on. The 2-0. Slider, ground ball, foul ball. This year, to be specific about it, he throws a slider 58% of the time. Exactly. That's 6 out of every 10. He'll rarely throw a changeup, about 5 out of every 100 pitches, and then the rest are fastballs. But when you throw that many sliders, the 2-1.
Oh, he got a hanger that time, but it buckled him. It buckled Goldschmidt. That's the first good one he's seen from Gregerson. And that's the thing, we've never faced somebody before. You just don't know what that strike slider looks like, but that was the one. You could see him just buckle.
All right, let's see if Paul can put it on him. He had a great at bat, and he walked in the 6th.
When a pitcher buckles you like that, it's coming again.
He hung it again.
Boy, did he ever. He threw it, and he didn't throw a good one, but they're not mistakes when they don't get hit.
The 2-2. Bouncing ball out, charging to the bag he goes. Arizona gets one more run. They're within one of the San Diego Padres. They were down 7-0. And we got another one coming up not too far from now. It's the Pirates series. D-backs fan, throughout the month of September, you can help in hunger in our community each time you buy a ticket to a weekday game. For each ticket sold, the D-backs will donate $1 to the Valley of the Sun United Way for their campaign to end hunger in Maricopa County. Buy your ticket today for the Diamondbacks Pirates series September 19th through the 21st at dbacks.com/endhunger. It's a good idea. That's a good thing. I like to hear that going on. See you at the ball yard. Brad Ziegler, side-wheeling right-hander. Serves that one low, on for the 17th time, an ERA of sub-2.
Diamondbacks have scored 6 unanswered. Now Ziegler's job is to come in and put a 0 up there. And the first batter he's going to face is old bat flip. That's Alberto Gonzalez. He's 0 for 3 today with 3 bat flips. Well, somehow that one missed him.
2-1 the count. He does have quite a flip going when he just puts it in play somewhere. We noticed it last night on a single.
Three and one.
Usually those are reserved, like, you might remember Brett Boone, a former slugger.
Oh boy, could he flip it.
But he usually did when he hit it over the wall.
Sean Dunston, another guy that used to. 4.
A tough way to start things.
Third baseman Andy Marino.
Justin Upton in right field, manning his acreage that he is used to covering. As he pinch hit, reached on the fielder's choice for Gerardo Parra. Here's Andy Marino. Marino had a fine year in the minor leagues, hit .314, make it .315 with 20 doubles, 12 home runs between San Antonio and Tucson. Off the end of the bat. 0-1 the count, Marino. A lot of our Diamondbacks fans and viewers down in Tucson have enjoyed having AAA baseball back this year, watching the Padres. Now you're seeing some of the Tucson ball players here in this series that have made their way to the major leagues for San Diego. They're Tucson Electric. That one is rolled foul. Boy, next series we've got some fun ones. Tomorrow we'll be with you at Saunders against Lilly. Ian Kennedy goes for his 20th win of the year on Tuesday. And then Hudson will go toe-to-toe with Clayton Kershaw, who's probably the Cy Young frontrunner, along with a handful of others.
Should be a fun series.
On the ground, could be 2. 1, 2, double play.
That's why they got Brad Ziegler. He gets a lot of ground balls, so he's always one pitch away from getting that big double play ground out. And he sure comes as advertised there. 4-6-3.
Well, you saw a key play there, and you say, if you're someone who says managers or management don't make a difference in games, that a standard hasn't been set and a way to play here. Remind me, at what point did Paul Goldschmidt, Aaron Hill, John McDonald, and Brad Ziegler, what point did they appear in the opening day game for the Diamondbacks?
They didn't.
They were all just involved in that double play.
That's exactly right.
And if you're a casual fan just happening to flip on the game and seeing Kevin Towers' team out there, you wonder who these guys are.
That's exactly right. And Kevin Towers, he has been rating different teams.
For unique individuals.
Sure.
You know, the kind of fit with the... I mean, here's a guy in Hill that didn't fit anymore in Toronto at all.
Well, he didn't play well in Toronto this year. He had a bad year. And you can classify that as a bad year.
Oh, you bet, for what he had done in the past?
Absolutely. But he's been terrific since coming over here.
John McDonald, his glove certainly came with him. A veteran. That one is fouled off. And, of course, Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, if you follow a little bit more closely, you heard about his exploits in the minor leagues, but he wasn't here. And we would, at times, behind the scenes, get a response that, yeah, you guys might not want to talk him up too much. Probably won't be here this year. Early on, that's what was said. Yeah. Swing and a miss. I just think there's a way of doing things around here. And it starts in the top. An online experience for fans. Fox Sports Game Connect, available on foxsportsarizona.com.
All right, Darren Sutton, you got 6 outs to get 1 run. You've gotten 6 runs in the past 2 innings. Now you're facing a tough customer, though, in right-hander Luke Gregerson.
And so it's time to go to work and do it. I will argue that you may have just 3 outs to get those runs.
Heath Bell, Loomuth.
And he is, I would imagine, dying for another chance. That's exactly right. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Oh, yep. There's the thumb injury, or you can tell right now. Chris Young just hurt his thumb on that swing and miss. He's been doing it for the whole second half.
I talked to Chris at length about this. His thumb is injured, does have to heal. He can play through with it, but right there, the longer follow-through grabs right underneath that right thumb area.
Exactly right.
And in that area where there's an injury and a small tendon injury and a sprain in that thumb, he said, but I can hit. I don't want it mentioned as an excuse. It's on the follow-through. High fly ball into left center field. Crowd got excited, but Maben underneath the balcony. He's got plenty of room.
And it makes you wonder, if the thumb hadn't been injured right prior to that, would that ball have had a little more carry to it?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it would have. I think he probably had to swing just a little bit with a little less enthusiasm on that one, and that's the difference. He's a tough kid, my goodness. I mean, it's right there for him to hit. Puts a good swing on it, but just didn't have the pizzazz that he would have been, that maybe if he had a healthy thumb.
And I asked him about it a lot. I said, we've theorized and we'll leave you alone about it, but I have to get an update. As Colin Cowgill takes outside, and he just soon us not even use it as a reason. I mean, that's just how he is.
I understand that.
He said, I'll explain it to you, but it's not, if I'm 4 for fill in the blank or 1 for, it's not the reason why. And you like that about him.
Of course. He's a tough kid. He wants to be a part of this. He is a part of this.
Well, you bet I'll say he's already doubled in a couple of runs. He's walked. Last night, a big part of the energy, contributing offensively. He's got 66 RBIs. He's scored 80 runs. He's playing hurt right now. And he will until this season and postseason ends. Inside, 3-0. Speedy base runner if you can get him on.
If you can get him on, no question.
Padres bullpen has really been a bugaboo in this series. Nowhere close. And it's a bullpen that has gone in one series from strength to weakness. They do it without Mike Adams, who many say is the best setup man. At least in San Diego he was in all of baseball. Here's John McDonald.
John McDonald, another guy that's gotten some big hits since he's been in a Diamondback uniform. I remember a real big one in Colorado to tie the ball game late.
Played at Paul Goldschmidt, didn't it? Down the line.
Did.
Paul ran a great set of bases to come around and score. A very close play. And then Joe Saunders singled home John McDonald. I don't blame Luke Gregerson here. Not one bit. Tacos tomorrow again, reaching the 6-run.
Yeah, but now you gotta enjoy your tacos.
I agree.
They just don't taste as good if you lose.
Good take.
Yeah, I mean they taste good, but they taste terrific if you score 8 and win this thing. Don't you think?
Even a 10-9 loss. I mean, you'd eat them, but
yeah, you'd eat them. You'd eat them, yeah, but just wouldn't feel as warm and fuzzy while you are eating them.
Two and 0.
All of a sudden now that's 6 balls in a row again from Luke Gregerson.
I mean, his meals taste better when his team wins. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, doggone right. Good slider there on 2-0 for strike one.
Very few pitchers in baseball that have just a get me over slider. And that's all that was.
That's all it is. He's got the put away one. He's got the one that I'll just spin up there for strike one. When you're expecting a fastball, nah, here's just a little slider.
Yeah, that was the better one. Down and away, 2-2 the count. And of course, on deck, you have Henry Blanco.
Because he's homered. He's singled. He's scored a couple of runs. Well, he's been a heck of a backup to Miguel Montero, hadn't he, Henry Blanco?
Yeah, between the two of them, they're an offensive force. I mean, Miguel gets a majority of the credit.
Good pitch to run on right here if you're calling Cowgill. 4 out of 5 pitches are going to be a slider. It's probably going to try to be down and away. Cowgill also, by going, opens up a hole on the right side that John McDonald could maybe poke a ground ball through, and you could have a 1st and 3rd situation.
Doesn't go, bouncing ball on a backhand, firing to Hudson on to first, not in time. That's a great play by Perino.
It's a tough play.
Yeah, we've seen him play a couple of spots in this series defensively. Good athlete. And Orlando Hudson's getting a full workout around the second base bag.
He's dodging sliders.
And Henry Blanco dodges a slider that's outside. 1-0 the count.
Base runner sliding. Pitch is sliding.
They've got you with us at Dodger Stadium tomorrow night. Sean Burroughs is on deck. Arizona continues to hope to march to October. Breaking ball, Henry driven to left, but he didn't get all of it.
Missed it.
Oh, for the love of Homer and Henry. Golly. That's impressive. To 6 is the score. Arizona hoping to rally, get that magic number down. It's at 8. 8 is stunning to have a magic number. 8 is stunning when the Giants score that many. And that's what they have done there on top of the Los Angeles Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th inning. So in all likelihood, you will get no help on that magic number or with the standings from the San Francisco Giants. Take care of your own business, as Kirk Gibson always tells us. But that's a bit of a release, I would imagine, for Giants fans to see an offense like that. They have Not seen very often. 8-1 the score in San Francisco.
Good sinking fastball there from Ziegler.
I'm guessing. I mean, he threw a few pitches last night, but the big fella pitches the ninth for San Diego, right?
You talking about Heath Bell?
Oh, yeah. He's got to be warming out there, doesn't he?
Oh, that's got to be Heath Bell. I can't think of anybody else out there.
The 0-1.
Has he got legs the size of tree trunks, that guy out there in the bullpen?
Let's see.
If he does, it's probably Heath Bell.
Oh, yeah.
That's him. There's Big Heath.
He went home and enjoyed a not tasty dinner after the game, has had a not tasty breakfast and a yucky lunch. He's been dying to get back out after Arizona torched him last night.
That's exactly right.
All-star. Topper, and that's a foul ball. My goodness. He allowed as many home runs last night as he says he had allowed all season.
There you go. That's why, like Kirk Gibson said it last night, who else has done that to him? Nobody. Oh, baby. A little sweeping slider from down under.
A little hovercraft, if you will.
This slider actually moves up. It defies gravity. Underneath the baseball is Denorfia. Another one and a dandy.
You know, that pitch also, visually anyway, watching it, kind of acts as a changeup too, because it slows down so much at the plate. And Guzman, this is a talented, aggressive hitter, just couldn't stay back. Fastball in, 1-1. By the way, in that Giants game, a couple of RBIs for Keppinger, a couple of RBIs for Aubrey Huff, Sandoval with a big hit, DeRosa as well. Inside, and it's Madison Bumgarner pitching effectively. He's given it to the bullpen now. Hiroki Kuroda, not so good for the Dodgers. Went about a month there, giving every ounce of information about every Giants game they played. 1-2 the count. Almost feel like, even though the magic number is, you know, reality, that I need my daily dose of what are the Giants up to. The 1-2. Bouncing ball, good pitch. John McDonald, 2 outs. They found a way to finally get him. He had been on 3 times today with a couple of RBIs. Pitcher spot, then Roberts and Upton. Pitcher spot, Roberts and Upton due up against Heath Bell. The likes of Sean Burroughs, he's an option.
Ziegler just making it look easy out there.
Miguel Montero could be an option.
Lyle Overbay, last night's hero. And also the first night's hero. He drove in the winning run, Lyle Overbay. That was off of Chad Qualls. Sean Burroughs still hasn't been used. Lots of opportunities.
There's that sweeping breaking ball. Off the plate, this will be really tough. Hundley running. And no one had a play. McDonald tried to come across in front of Hill. Fortunate the two didn't bump into one another there.
Well, they know each other from their time in Toronto. There's communication. He just couldn't make the exchange. I think he might have been able to get Hundley if he could have made the exchange, but it was just too difficult to play. And Kirk Gibson going to come out and looks like make a move. Let's see.
We have Joe Patterson warming down there.
Nice job by Brad Ziegler.
Got some other options as well. It's going to be Cook coming on. Love to see that. Love to see younger people, too, at the ball yard. A lot of choices in our fine city. We're glad you're here. Very glad you're here. On a day certainly where many, I would imagine, have taken time to reflect and talk with your youngsters about a decade ago. Talk with those that they care about and friends. Diamondbacks fans this weekend come garbed in all colors.
And it's been a fun 4 games, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has been. And they're not satisfied. They want one more win. They got the rally caps. Anthony Rizzo. Ryan Cook, hard thrower with that nasty split that he throws.
Well, he was terrific here last night, wasn't he?
Had some tough experiences first time through. Pitched lights out in the minor leagues, so we show you the numbers only because we're obliged to, but he's got a better arm than those numbers. Split, misses outside, 2-0 the count.
Well, it's like any other pitcher. He becomes very ordinary when he falls behind because he becomes a one-pitch pitcher. When he pitches ahead, well, we saw him dominate last night when he jumped ahead.
Three 3-0 the count. Venable has a bat to pinch hit on deck. Milwaukee has already beaten Philadelphia 3-2. And a duel for the best and home field advantage in the National League in that other playoff slot. So they are tied with Arizona. A couple of runners on. Venable now.
Pitch hitting for San Diego, number 25, Will Venable.
Seven long balls this year. A couple of RBIs in the series. On the ground. Cook will get over. High throw. Nice job.
Nice play by Cook.
All right, Bell is locked and loaded. There'll be a pinch hitter, Ryan Roberts, and all-star Justin Upton when we come back. was, it was the sixth inning, and it was one after another, and all told, 9 Diamondbacks hit, and they made it a ball game. And a handful of swings of the baseball bat. Arizona played it 5 in that sixth inning. Bud Black removed Wade LeBlanc with 84 pitches and saw his ERA balloon with that. Heath Bell, he was touched up, had a blown save yesterday. Doesn't happen very often for Bell, the All-Star. And we knew it. You thought about the couple of innings leading up to it, that if you were going to win, it would come through this man, the undrafted, wonderful story, who has 36 saves. He has blown 5. And Bell with a 2.70 ERA.
He's got a chip on his shoulder here this afternoon after blowing a save here last night. And I read some comments about him, or his comments in the morning paper. He was a stand-up guy about it. Just stand up. He took all the blame. Didn't make any excuses. And I respect a guy that does that.
Outfield moves around. That looks like Denorfia now in left. And Hermida in right. So they are set to go. Willie Bloomquist pinch hits, not opting for a left-handed batter. Of the options he has on the bench, Kirk Gibson. Instead, it's Willie, and he takes high. 1-0 the count. 271, and he's been on a nice roll. Proper days off for Bloomquist. 9-game hitting streak. Takes.
Oh, man.
Bell wanted it.
He sure did. With every wide one he throws, this crowd gets more amped and more amped. There's a strike.
The last time Bell came up on the wrong side of a save opportunity in back-to-back games, 2 years ago. That's how long it's been. And it happened right around almost to the day. The 2 days in 09. Outside. We told you Willie's been hot. The 3-1. He's on.
What is going on with Heath Bell the last couple of nights doing something? This is not like him.
Ryan Roberts now. That's Bell's 20th walk of the season in 56 2/3 innings. You think about this inning, and the odds are even higher. You remember Young hit a home run last night, a right-handed hitter. But then Overby, a left-handed hitter, hit a homer. Righties have only hit 2 homers off him all year. Lefties only 2. Right there.
Fastball, strike one. Roberts caught looking for something off speed.
Bell's consecutive save streak ended against the Diamondbacks earlier this year. In San Diego, 0-2 the count.
Just threw that one right by Ryan Roberts. Looks like once again looking off speed. Got 2 fastballs blown by him.
Heath takes a walk. 4 1/3 innings with 5 runs allowed this year against the Diamondbacks. 2 saves, 2 blown.
He just got his doors blown off by fastballs there from Heath Bell as he restores order. I think Ryan Roberts up there looking off speed every single pitch. He just got smoked. Well, this is what you pay. You pay to see these matchups. One of the best closers in the game and one of the best hitters in the game.
Fastball over the outside corner, 0-1 the count. He doesn't want this game tied up. He knows what that base runner means. Right-handed hitters with just a 165 batting average this year against Bell. Heath has allowed 4 base runners to steal when he's been on the mound. No one has been thrown out, but that 4 is not a real high total. Outside.
Just rearing back and throwing nothing but fastballs, Darren. These are angry fastballs too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Determined.
I mean, it just looks to me like these Diamondbacks are looking for off-speed pitches. And I think Heath Bell sees the same thing in these tardy swings. Yeah, looking for off-speed stuff. Look at the big fella getting animated out there.
Did you see his reaction?
Yeah. Once again, this time Upton looking off-speed and just gets his doors blown off. I just never could, Darren, with a guy throwing 95 miles an hour, go up there and look off-speed. I just couldn't.
If he did throw you 3 in a row, you'd have to tip your cap at that point.
But I'll be darned if I'm going to let him throw fastballs by me.
All right, Aaron Hill. Arizona's already won this series. They are trying to continue to roll. Last chance now, Hill.
I would imagine Willie Bloomquist just might be taking his chances over there.
Bell with a huge reaction as he saves the ball game. 7-6 is the final score. The Diamondbacks, they win this series, but they have their extended run of victories come to an end. They do so here at home, and their home winning streak comes to an end as well. The magic number remains at 8 for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and probably will, because the Giants are comfortably on top, and they are steamrolling the Los Angeles Dodgers. That ends, by the way, the home winning streak at 15 games for the Diamondbacks. Now it's off to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. And by the way, they dropped back behind the Milwaukee Brewers in the fight for home field, which, if the season were to end today, would mean Arizona would start on the road against the Philadelphia Phillies. Milwaukee would start on the road, or I should say at home, against the Atlanta Braves. Glad to have you with us, too, today. Thanks for spending time with us. On this September 11th, we remember back a decade, recalling exactly where we were. Major League Baseball began playing just 6 days after. As players stepped back onto the field, our national pastime helped to restore our spirit. Our resolve cannot be destroyed, and baseball helped not only its fans remember, but its players, too. We will never forget.
September 11th, 2001, I was actually, early morning in bed in Atlanta, getting ready to open up a 3-game set against the Braves.
I was in Atlanta, and I was sleeping.
I walked downstairs, and my babysitter had this horrified look on her face.
I was a senior in high school, and that morning was something I'll never forget.
I didn't care about a baseball game at that moment. It was all about, the United States of America.
I remember my mom coming to school and saying, hey, do you want to be taken out of school? And I was like, no, we got a football game today. And she's like, honey, there's no football today.
I was scared to death.
I knew exactly what it was. I knew it was a terrorist attack. Why they do that? Who did that?
We finally resumed 6 days later. It felt like a month.
Everybody's, having mixed feelings about having baseball start up again.
I think it helped to begin the healing process. I think it was symbolic of the fact that we wouldn't be deterred as a country.
It's my job to go out and entertain them. It's my job to go out and take their minds off of things for 2 or 3 hours.
It just took on a different feeling.
I believe the game was tied, and Mike Piazza walked up, and I said to myself, wouldn't this be a storybook ending to this day if he were to hit a home run right here?
That particular at bat, I remember letting the first pitch go by. The runner was on base, and I was like, man, I could put us ahead here.